We'll do it live.
Whoa! Welcome to whatever the fuck this is. This is the bonus episode where we get really drunk.
Oh, is that why there's a bottle of 114 Old Granddad sitting in front of us?
Old Granddad. Brian and I went to the liquor store and we were like, what's a funny whiskey name?
To the liquor store!
Whoa! Because we were like, oh, we got to do like a little jokey with the podcast name or something. And Brian's an old granddad.
I had a better
He's 114.
idea.
Yeah, Brian had a good idea. You want to tell us what it was that we didn't do it?
Yeah, it was what we don't drink an entire bottle of whiskey right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, well, we're not doing that. We are doing what you said we're not doing.
Yeah.
So this is where we're gonna go through. This is very unscripted. I don't have fucking anything. This is not a normal podcast episode. This is us just being little pee-pee poo-poo heads going through the thing. If you've been listening, whoa, to the podcast. You'll know that joke from 50, 60 episodes ago.
Infringement!
Strike on the Podtower. Yeah. You'll know Brian and I have I've made Brian Sinyap every episode except for when we have a guest, and I think I did one of them also.
And if I recall, you struggled.
Yeah, I did a little bit, yeah. I wrote down over the course of, at first, Brian asked me this yesterday, and I explained it better than I'm going to now, but
unscripted.
I was like one or two a week for a while. I would just go, I'll just add to the Yopisode guide. Eventually, I'll have them all. And then it was about a week before right now when we're recording, I'm like, I still have like 50 episodes to go. So I did that yesterday and the day before. And you're going to open the whiskey bottle. Here's the proof.
The cork looks really big. That's a big cork.
The cork looks really big. Does it smell good?
We're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, Brian synopsed all the episodes. This is his synopses in his own words, you know. And so I've written down every single one of those for every episode, plus our stupid little subtitle title, as if they are the official episode guide for Batman the Animated Series. And we're going to read through them. And I had one drinking game suggestion, and that is that every time Brian, anytime that the phrase fast forward comes up, that we take a drink, and that be our, we can do little sips. It doesn't have to be like a shot.
Okay.
He's got actual little nice little glasses.
Yeah.
You know. But if we realize like, oh shit, this is bad, this is a lot, we can slow down and just keep going.
So okay, that sounds fine,
yeah.
because the thought for me is like any drinking game where there's 86, 87
proof.
No, this is 114 proof.
There you go. Old granddad.
Yeah, we're gonna have to mute that guy out.
No.
We have that many episodes. You're just bound to like kill yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're
gonna take the whiskey slow and the yops fast.
Okay, deal.
Brian brought up a good idea. If you have drinking age, maybe you should play a drinking game with us. And every time we say fast forward, you also have to take the drink.
You could also drink like tea.
Yeah, drink water. So first I want to show you, this is it's going to autoplay here or play an ad or something.
Yeah,
Red Robin.
Red Robin.
Wow.
Gourmet burgers.
Gourmet
and Donato's
burgers.
Pizza. Loaded edge to
Pizza. All right, so these are I'll show you a couple of these. They're like back in the day on Fox Children. They would play these before every, like, oh, coming this Saturday is this new Batman episode, and they'd have these little promos. So this is kind of the energy I want to go for here with these, reading them as if they are these. I'll show you one here.
Tomorrow on Batman, ruthless terrorists attack Gotham.
Nothing's safe with these savages in town.
And only one man can stop them.
If you think I've been bad news before.
But will an uninvited guest throw him off the track?
Never trifle with the affections of a woman.
Watch Batman the Animated Series tomorrow afternoon on Fox.
Batman the Animated Series.
Why does he have a
tomorrow afternoon on Fox.
small plum in his mouth? Watch Batman.
Tomorrow on Batman, when a winged creature terrorizes Gotham. This is accused the wrong man.
Brian took his headphones off and left the room. Tomorrow afternoon on Leather Wings, the best episode of the series.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
It is Bri.
It is Bri. So we're gonna switch on and off with these.
Okay.
And
we have to talk like this or whatever.
Well, I just basically want to channel the energy of like an official as if you're reading an official synopsis. So I'll do the first one here, okay?
And fast forward is when we drink.
Yes, on the.
Do we want to do one to start us off, or
sure? Let's hear some clinks. Oh boy! Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's very Bernie Sanders.
We're gonna have a
rough
bad time.
We just ate a bunch of food and ate ice cream. Okay, so
has nothing to do with anything.
That's why it'll be worse.
That's not good.
So the first episode was called Yoppie Dudes. Episode 1, Yoppie Dudes. We did not have you say a synopsis. That's the only one that we didn't have them.
Thank God.
Episode 2, I'll start with Bruce Wayne goes to the zoo. Okay, so it starts off as every Batman episode, as far as I'm convinced, starts off for 2 with a blimp, a police blimp. There is a heavy focus on police blimps, and they're always like, call in the choppers. Like, why don't they should just have the helicopters if they're just going to call them in from the blimps. There's a Batman. You're led to believe that Batman's out there causing mischief, and everyone's like, oh, the Batman's bad. And they print in the paper, Batman's bad. And then it turns out there's another Batman who's arguably way more Batman combination than the Batman is. So he took a bunch of drugs, and he turned into a gargoyle-looking bat creature. And I don't know what his motivation was. He's just like, I did these drugs. Time to kill the world. You can take the next one. God. Episode 3, The Big Cold.
Should we? Oh, hell yeah.
Don't think of how thick it is, Brian. Just go. Just go, man.
Listener, I'm just going to wait,
that wasn't
accurate. I couldn't even. This is 38 pages.
Yeah, about. I think it's exactly 30, actually.
Should we put on some just some non-copyright background music?
I was kind of thinking
be at this for a while.
Yeah. Let's see here. Don't read ahead.
I'm gonna read ahead.
Don't read ahead. Do you want to do elevators?
Yeah.
Style stuff?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It doesn't fit with the music that's in the background of those shows.
Yeah. Okay. But, 3 hours best elevator music. I think that's.
Oh, let's say what was the CD whatever that sound
premium beat.
Yeah. So hold on. Let's give one of those.
watchtowerdatabase.com. watchtowerdatabase.com. I was like, we were waiting for you. Okay, keep it a little low.
Yeah. Yeah, we can turn up a little. It's just for us, just a little. No, that's good. Yeah. So this was a banger. So he's doing some. Oh God, I'm so annoying. So he's doing some beat poetry at the start, like rapping to a snow globe who may or may not be his wife. He has no feelings. They've been frozen out of him or something. So the big cold happens. Mr. Freeze does a bad. There's this humanitarian guy, and he's actually, as it turns out, he's a piece of shit. His name is Ferris Bueller. He's the head of Goth Corp, a people company, and the whole time he's really trying to grind in the idea that he's this good guy, but turns out he's a bad guy, and he got Mr. Freeze, whose name was Frankie Freeze. He was a scientist working for Francis Bueller, and he was doing an experiment. Apparently his wife had some terminal illness, and he froze her in this whole suspended animation thing. He was doing. How many pages this we got to do?
Don't worry about
it. Okay. He was doing a piece to camera, and then Francis Bueller came in and was like, "This is my money you're fucking with." And he goes to fuck everything up. And then Mr. Freeze is all like, "I'm Victor," grabs a gun and is gonna stop them from murdering his wife. Then he gets kicked back into a pile of chemicals, and then Francis tries to save face and run out of there and say that, oh, there was an explosion and we lost an employee. Don't worry about it. He says that with a meeting to Bruce Wayne, who's battling off a bad case of the sniffles. He has COVID. So then the big cold, Mr. Freeze, decides to go on a rampage, and he's gonna get vengeance. He gets a big gun to make the big cold and starts freezing a building. Fast forward.
There we go. Pause for sips.
Yeah. Fast forward.
Oh, that was gross. I think it caught the little sound in my throat.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway.
Fast forward to the end.
Oh.
No. Batman kind of stops him, but allows him to freeze Ferris Bueller. And handed a news reporter the tape of Mr. Freeze's confession, which led to his supposed demise. And then Batman is like spying on him in jail later in the episode, talking to his snow globe wife. Then he jumps off a building. We don't know what happened to Batman after that. He could very well be dead. That might be the end of Batman.
Fantastic.
Tune in next time.
Yeah, tomorrow. It should end everyone like when you open a fortune cookie and you go like in bed. At the end. End everyone with tomorrow afternoon on Fox. Okay, here we go. This is episode 4, Dream of Beans.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We start off the episode and we see that Bruce Wayne is, you think he's doing a bad, but it turns out he's being framed by a dude who's got... There was just some literal newspaper snippets on the mirror of this famous actor, apparently Matt Hagen, in his trailer, his dressing room. And this guy's got a disfigured face. He puts on some makeup stuff and transforms his face into basically whomever, apparently. Because he's an actor, he can do voices and mannerisms, I think we're led to believe. So he's a good actor, frames Bruce Wayne, and then he's dealing with some thugs. He's working for some thugs. And then the thugs say, Matt Hagen no more, and make him drink the stuff. The makeup stuff. Fast forwarding.
Fuck.
Fast forwarding, Batman likes shish kebabs. Now, again, I thought the guy who was running away was Matt, but then he pinpoints a criminal he's punched in the past. So then, let's see, how does the episode wrap up? And then his buddy, that was weird, his body double on set finds him, and he's like, dude, you're dripping everywhere. And then he's like, bah, tomorrow afternoon on Fox. You got number 5.
Episode 5, Big Lumpy Skin.
This is official Batman the Animated Series.
Jesus Christ, dude. This episode basically started with Bruce Wayne getting out of jail. He just gets out of jail. He's like, I'm a rich guy. What happened? I mean, he jumped out of the car as Batman. Clayboy was in his trailer and he was being all sorts of mad. Then his little stand-in buddy was there, like, you could do all the things, and he accidentally started changing, and he was looking at himself, pictures of himself in his old roles, and he just started changing like a reflex. Clayface was all like, yeah, maybe I can do this, and then he just gives up immediately. He's like, no, it's too hard, I can't. The old me is dead. Now I'm this guy, and he destroys shit. Then 2 minutes later, he has a poor me moment, and then he's like, oh, maybe I should not have said that stuff. That wasn't real. And then he goes into the hospital and Batman is threatening Germ Dude with germs, which turns out it's just seawater, so he's not actually threatening him with germs. Oh, he's so clever. He's like punching the wall. And then before he can finish his dissertation, Claybody comes in and Roof strangles him and Batman faints. And then there's a chase to the page 1 down.
Yeah.
Oh, rooftop with Germs and Clay Dude and Batman. Clayface makes a getaway. Batman kind of chases after, and he starts like shocking the clay. Oh no, that comes later. He dresses up as Batman, wearing a janitor jacket and hat, and he goes into this back room loaded with TVs, seemingly knows what's going on, and cues up all of Clay Dude's past faces on those TVs, and then the battle happens to go in there. Batman pushes all those buttons, and then his past roles come up, and Clayman is like, oh, I can't do it, it's too much, oh, my faces, you must stop, and then he starts rapidly changing. It's some really cool animation, and then he more or less self-destructs, and they're like, oh, I guess that's the end of it, and Batman's like, no, it was too simple, and he's like tasting a lump of clay back in the Batcave. Oh, tasing. Beans. Back in the Batcave, and then the clay is doing those Nickelodeon logos and modern art pieces. And he's like, yeah, it was probably a ruse. And then it ends in this epic, like, Clayman's body double is like, I say like so much. I'll see you later, buddy. And he, like, goes to fuck off. So it turns out that Claybody turns himself into a woman and actually snuck out, so he doesn't actually get caught. He's out in the world playing a woman flawlessly.
Tomorrow afternoon.
September 15th.
This will also be your like, oh yeah, that stuff did happen in an episode, didn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely making you remember all the accurate things that happened.
Episode 6, Batman Goes to Church. Batman goes to church, and there's two crime families, the Stromwells and the McCoys. Thorn. They're battling, doing the stereotypical mobs in Gotham kind of style, and Stromwell loses his son. He's blaming the other guy, the Thorns. The Thorns then, blow him up, but Batman saves the day. And some random dude in the crowd has a great little monologue, and he's like, there's a Batman, saved somebody on the building. Basically, it's like these two feuding families in the crime world. One dude he makes a lot of drugs, and Batman keeps trying to get him to go to church. The Stromwell guy, that is. The dude loses his son, he blames the other guy, the Thorns. The Thorns did not take his son. His son has been addicted to drugs that Stromwell was producing. So there's drugs, it's his fault, there's PTSD on the railroad tracks, and I don't know, and he, has a come-to-God moment with his brother, tomorrow afternoon on Fox. You can read them like normal people now, you're episode 7.
Okay.
I guess these are all from your mouth mostly. Yeah. So you saying them back is yeah, I've heard this before.
Yeah. Episode 7, he was in a cake. Joker, I'm still gonna do the voice.
That's fine.
At least until I start to lose my voice.
Yes.
Joker's having a runabout. He kind of ends up recruiting this dude to his team, kind of. He ends up kind of there's this dude who's just a regular Joe in society. Charlie Collins ends up getting recruited into the Joker's team for some favor at some point in the future. Commissioner Gordon's being recognized with Pellegrinos or whatever.
The Peregrinators.
All right. Joker thinks he should be recognized and decides to wheel in a big fucking cake with him in it. Joker goes to blow everybody up, freeze them first, then blow them up. he gas pauses them. Batman comes to save the day, and Charlie starts to lose it, and you think he's gonna kill the Joker, and the Joker freaks out and is hilariously calling for Batman. Batman, save me! And then everything is good by the end. Tomorrow on Fox Adults.
Adults. Okay, we have episode 8, Big Bad Fire Time. I think this is Cat in the Claw Part 2, finally. Okay, so we really picked up where we left off in the first one. Right out the gate, there was a train ride. There was a bunch of military guys guarding a virus in a vial. A virus in a vial. Or a plague? A plague. So Red Claw, who's a woman, busts onto this train, steals the virus, steals the plague, and buggers off. Then Bruce Wayne and what's Catwoman's? She was kind of being sought after. But it was just, oh, here they are driving across a bridge, and now there's someone trying to run them off the bridge, and they ran the other car off the bridge. And then that just went away, and we moved to the next scene where there was they end up in a bunker, this big government issue bunker or whatever. And then Batman and Catwoman got kind of all tied up and, wait, how did they get caught? It was pretty lame. Batman saves the day by going fucking apeshit with a gasoline truck, you can presume, with a grenade. Red Claw is standing next to a helicopter, then turns and sees the truck coming at her, gasps, and then a wide shot of the truck hitting the helicopter and both of them explode. And then it cuts to Red Claw has immediately teleported to a different helicopter up on the mountain, going drat! Still upset about her first helicopter being exploded. Meanwhile, a slow-reaching arm of fire makes a perfect straight line to go out and grab another vehicle, and then that explodes. It was the arm of Hades reaching out toward the vehicle I want to burn this one, and I want to burn this one. Batman goes back to her apartment and handcuffs Catwoman, but we really don't know why. Tomorrow afternoon on Fox. Here's episode 9.
Oh my god. Episode 9. We need more thick. With 2 C's.
2 C's.
It started off 5 years ago, if you remember, back before the penitentiary, and Harvey Dent and Bruce Wayne were digging up ground to make a penitentiary happen. And Poison Ivy was like, "I'm gonna save this rose because I know this is basically the last one on the planet, the wild thorny rose." She went to dug it up and made a poison out of it. 5 years later, tricked Harvey Dent into getting engaged. She made a poison lipstick. That's the sentence. She made a poison lipstick. I just read it wrong. She made out with the dude. Harvey ends up hospitalized with this poison that nobody knows. He falls in the moose. Bruce Wayne is like, I'm gonna figure all this out, all this stuff. And Batman hugs Isley as she's leaving the hospital, or Bruce Wayne hugs Isley as she's leaving the hospital. He's like, oh, I have this premonition that she's poisoning him. More or less wraps up where Batman goes and fights her big plant. She ends up accidentally killing it. It gets real upset. And then everything goes up in flames, and she kisses Batman while he's all constrained, and then he gets poisoned, and then he's gonna kill her last plant, and everything else is burning. He kicks her in the tits. Everybody gets better at the end. There's also an insane amount of bad puns. Episode 10.
Episode 10. I am the tiger. I believe in God.
Still one of my favorite titles.
Is this painting the picture in your mind, listener, as we say these? There's a college, and there's this Professor Long, Dr. Professor Long. So there's been all these attacks happening on this college, and everyone's kind of trying to figure out why. Get a little taste of Bruce Wayne's disappointment in his life, and then the Scarecrow makes his appearance and is like, yo, I have this gas that makes you afraid of whatever you're afraid of. So there's the college and Batman in this fear gas, and he's gonna rain terror on the city, and he's like robbing banks and messing stuff up. And he's got a blimp full of these chemicals, and it seems like the Scarecrow's gonna rain terror on the city. Literally rain gas on the city and make everybody afraid for whatever reason. He's had a sordid past and history of studying. Not sorted, but sordid. Good job, Jamie, I'm proud of you, unlike Batman's father, who's not proud of him. But Alfred is like, I'm proud of you, son. Batman kind of accidentally... He really slips. He's not on his A game, and he's just dropping bad guys out of windows who are quietly landing on awnings and large bonsais and not dying. Batman used the most advanced Google ever. He analyzed this scrap of fabric, and the computer's like, it came from these 5 laboratories. And Batman's like, who worked at those 5 laboratories? It's like, this guy. Batman's like, okay, what did he study? Fear. Bingo. Ad on the video.
Oh, God.
I mean, come on.
So then Batman ends up at his lab and opens the gas, and Scarecrow somehow doesn't have an antidote for himself, apparently. Years of studying fear, and he's like, well, I'm never going to have to protect myself against this. He sees Batman as the Fantasia Night on Bald Mountain monster, which was cool. He gets captured and strung up on a fan. Tomorrow afternoon on Fox.
All right. Episode 11. The Batman, the Jordan, the Mayor, the biggest birthday hug ever.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God. Are people...
This is good content.
Do people want to hear this?
People want to hear this. Keep going.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go.
I don't want to hear this.
I do.
Oh, we're just doing this for you then.
Yeah.
We'll do this all in one breath, which is impossible. Okay. There was a big birthday hug that happened. The biggest birthday hug that
You already.
I know. The biggest birthday hug that was then followed up by 2 thumbs up. What the hell am I saying? There was a big birthday hug that happened. The biggest birthday hug that was then followed up by 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. That makes sense.
We start off the episode on this rich fella. What's his name? What's that? Was that the mayor? The mayor was giving a press conference, and then suddenly all hell breaks loose. Scaffolding comes a shooting down. The mayor's like, oh, we're gonna make this town safe, and then suddenly everything starts falling apart. Hamburger cars are flying, through. Hamburger cars are flying through, okay? Yeah. Luckily, the Batman comes swinging in on an I-beam, which is suspended while he's also swinging from a rope, standing on an I-beam that's hanging from a rope, and that whole situation is somehow miraculously sliding into frame together. So then we fast forward.
Are
you gonna cough this time?
No. I'm good.
Okay. So then we fast forward. The mayor's son Jordan is having a birthday party. Jordan wants to be a magician. His dad wants nothing to do with his son. He apparently doesn't like him very much. And then this big surprise comes in. A clown comes and shows up, and everyone's, ooh, it's a clown. But it's the Joker in disguise. You could kind of say this is his origin story if you wanted. It wouldn't be true, but you could say it. The Joker goes to dynamite everybody, but then Bruce Wayne accidentally whoops, pushes the dynamite into the pool, saves the day. And meanwhile, the Joker clown makes a getaway, but also so does Jordan, who hides in the back of the clown's car. Who we come to find out was actually hijacked from the Joker. And then we go back to the Joker's lair, which is in a very pristinely abandoned amusement park. Batman shows up. There can be so many of those later.
Amusement park.
Batman shows up. Joker plays some tricks. Batman pulls a Houdini and gets put into a straitjacket in a tub of water, and then with the help of Jordan, makes an escape. Jordan gets away. The Joker chases after him, and then we have to endure this 3 to 5 minutes of roller coaster chase. Batman tosses Joker into a lake. It's the It's hard to drink whiskey and your mouth gets all watery and then it's the color of every single other thing in this episode, so you think he's gonna splat, but no, it's water. The Batman and the Jordan end up back at the mayor's house, and the mayor gives his son the biggest birthday hug ever. Tuesday on CNN.
Okay. I like I'll specify in the middle of almost every single one of these, we would derail and just start, and that stupid thing.
Yeah.
So I had to listen through like all of that just to get to the parts that are you actually describing the
But this is your doing. I don't think you get to complain about it.
No, I got to. I didn't.
I'm gonna grab our water while you read this.
Thank you. Okay, but make sure you listen.
I'm
Okay.
listening.
This is In On Crime Alley, episode 12. Clocks. So many clocks. Roland Daggett is a jerkface, and he has decided that mini-malls are more important than buildings and or human life. He decided to plant a bunch of blasting caps and TNT, and they're all gonna go off when both hands are at 9, which is not what they meant to say. He's gonna blow... Thank you. He's gonna blow up these buildings in Crime Alley, where Batman's parents were murdered! Crime Alley is very significant to Batman. It's where his parents were killed, but not where he lived. But there was a lady there, the crime doctor, Leslie Tompkins. He has an appointment to make, which he never misses. It's never too late. So the guy, Roland Daggett, is gonna make strip malls and stuff happen in the area, and the people in Crime Alley don't want that to happen. Leslie Tompkins, whilst going home or wherever she was headed to, stumbles across the bad guys blowing up the stuff, puts everything together, and they end up tying her to a chair and they're gonna blow her up along with the building. There's suddenly an out-of-control trolley thing that Batman pops his tires for, and you just see the conductor laying on the controls. I guess he probably had a heart attack or something, or he's really tired. The episode ends with Batman defusing a couple of the bombs. Batman walks forward and Roland Daggett's on the scene, and Summer Gleason, the who's that lady, is like, "Oh hey, you're here, buddy. You want to talk about this?" And Roland Daggett's all like, "Oh, it's a shame that we lost human lives or whatever." And Batman shows up and is like, "No one cares less about humans than you. We have all this evidence against you, Daggett." And then Roland Daggett's like, "Nah." And everyone else is like, "Okay." Batman walks up to the people that he saved, the lady who saw those henchmen setting the bombs and has evidence against all that. The guys were in handcuffs, and the cops don't actually bother to hear out Batman or Leslie or the henchmen who were setting the bombs. Maybe it's just a really accurate depiction of modern law enforcement. Batman and Leslie Thompson wander to a wayward spot next to a broken down building, and Batman drops a couple of roses, presumably for his parents, on the spot that they died. The end.
My God.
13, the unpagining.
Yeah, I guess we should read the title for the next person.
Yes,
So we don't get
yeah.
lost. Okay. The unpagining. Oh, your next one is so short.
Yeah,
You lucky
that'll
fucker.
happen sometimes.
It starts off, you got a couple of police officers on their way to some sting. There's a newbie who's really scared because he's never been on a thing before, and they show up to the scene. A building's on fire. Bullock is all sorts of unconscious or nearly. He was kicking so much ass. Some stuff happens. You see some guys running in one direction. One of the officers takes off after them. Bullock says there's some people inside. The other officer heads in there, and then we kind of more or less cut. God, I can't read. Cut to the police station where Commissioner Gordon that's his name, right? And and who is the other guy? Some high up police guy, Hathcock, Dr. Halfcock, Doc Halfcock for short. The cops I'll give 3 different stories about what went on in this building. Bullock says that there are 2 other why is this so hard? Bullock says that the other
You said this.
Bullock says that the other 2 were late. The other it's when I use too many single syllable words. It's hard for my brain to read. The other 2 say they were on time. It's never too late, as we've learned. The cops are disbarred or whatever happens to cops when they're unbadged, unbadgening. One of the officers, I wish I knew their names. Montoya!
Roberta Colindres.
She was on the train home having been unbadged. She was unbadgened and ungunned. Pure unbadgination. Goes by the docks and is like, I got it. Everything makes sense now. She shows up at the docks and all the bad guys just happen to be there. She gets really good at lockpicking real goddamn quick. She's really surprised at how good she is at lockpicking. Basically, the rest of the episode is a fight containing many pieces of heavy equipment. Montoya and Batman escape up to the crane tower thing. Crane tower thing. Tower crane. The man shooting at them is really good at hitting this railing with a Tommy gun from 600 feet below. They're safe because he's only hitting that one metal bar. Then Montoya just hijacks the crane and starts fucking up the world, pushing dudes through the dock by dropping heavy loads and stuff. And then she captures one in like a claw game Monopoly guy. Who's the Riddler? Wetface is trying to kill Batman with a forklift. Batman like kills him or whatever, and then decides to Titanic the Riddler Monopoly man's boat that he's making an escape on. Gordon comes back, shakes down the other higher up cop who happens to have their badges in his pocket. Tomorrow on Blue's Clues. But now episode 14, the clockening.
The clocking.
Oh, is that what it is?
Unbadgening and then the clocking. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mine is a little bit shorter than that. Mm-hmm. 7 years ago, the Clock King was on a train with Mayor Hill. He's super punctual
and super naked.
Wait, he didn't actually say that. No,
oh, shit.
But we both thought it. Mayor Hill was like, hey, like, don't be punctual. Take your coffee break in the park. And he does that. It goes wrong for him. He gets balled in the face by some kids. A dog barks. He falls in the fountain. He loses the court case and $20 million and goes, ah! Then the Clocking decides to fast forward.
Oh, shit. Get ready for the burn.
Then the Clocking decides to fast forward 7 years and and tries to ruin Mayor Hill's career and life. And he's like kind of half-assed fucking with the city and ruining things for people. He manages to lock Batman in a bank vault with a really elaborate trap. Batman manages to get out. The Clocking is going to smush Mayor Hill between the minutes and the hour hands of a big clock that looks over the city. And Batman goes up and tries to foil the plans. And despite the fact that Batman is utterly useless, the plans get foiled. The end is that Batman and the Clocking are having a fight. This episode, I'm so low on battery somehow, so that's great.
Oh.
Got a better option for the elevator music?
I sure do.
All right, cool. Well, I'll edit this out. Okay. I swapped out the elevator music because my phone was about to die. This next one goes to Brian, but it was said by me. It's one of the only couple that I sing out.
Oh.
This is episode 15, The Joker's Taco Barge, at the bottom there.
Yeah. It's April Fool's Day, and Joker's got a big old plate of lettuce floating across Gotham City. It's so funny, in fact, that everyone's breaking out laughing. They're laughing. Bruce Wayne's trying to take a bath. Alfred's like, haha, it's actually a drawing of a bath, you see? I drew a bath. And Batman's not having any of it, so he takes a shower. And then he sends his bat balloon out into the wilderness to decipher the gas. He's welding something for some reason. He's just doing stuff, doing grunt work. The computer balloon tells him, hey, if people breathe this for long enough, they'll go insane. And he's like, well, okay, I guess I'll do something about it. Then Alfred breaks a bunch of stuff because he's all laughy gassy. And then he's like, oh, this has to end because Alfred's my friend and father or something. And so he goes to Joker's Taco Barge and he's like, don't do this, Joker. And Joker's like, but I have a robot. And Batman takes the masks off his other guys and he fights Captain Clown. He throws Captain Clown into the thing that I only think exists in cartoons that presses cars together into cubes. He puts the robot in there. And then the Joker... Woof. Joker says, you've killed Captain Clown. Just for that, I'm going to... And then he dumps garbage on Batman. Classic. And then Batman follows Joker down a series of tubes and rivets. He's lost his cape at some point in there. They both dump out into a big old bowl of meatball soup. And then Batman's clinging on for dear life because he's allergic to meatballs. Joker dumps garbage on him and he should fall because he's only 5 feet from the fire. But he manages to have enough time to fall for several seconds and then hover in midair while he throws a grappling hook into the thing, and then he gets up there and chases the Joker, and Joker throws cards at him, and then the Joker just falls, off the ledge, like he just falls. There's nothing that makes him fall. And he's like, you wouldn't let me fucking die, would you, Batman? And Batman's a cheeky little bitch, and he pulls him up. And then he goes home and pulls a funny April Fool's prank on Alfred by saying, haha, you worthless peon, you work for me. April Fools, except not, because you do work for me.
Good.
Episode 16, Batman's Wrist Hot Dogs.
The announcements. There's a lady, and she's a runnin'. There's someone a runnin' after the lady. And the lady just gets real bad at runnin' and falls down kind of face first in the forest. And Poison Ivy is in chase and gives this lady the gas blast, and it freezes her in place, which is a Mr. Freeze thing. Then we fast forward. Then we fast forward. I can't.
I don't know why I like this so much.
It affects my throat. And Bruce Wayne gets himself a VHS cassette tape. Alfred puts it on. Alfred has a lady that's like really grooving on him. Bruce Wayne's like, oh, the VHS cassette is for this Eternal Youth program thing. And Alfred and the lady that really wants to be Alfred's lady end up going to the Eternal Youth spa thing in Bruce Wayne's stead. Kind of fast forwarding again.
Oh, no. Should we make these like whiskeys and Coke or something to cut it?
We might have to at some point. Where was I? Oh, God. Fast forwarding again, they end up imbibing on the drink and the cookies. And
Just
they get,
like us.
They get real obsessed with the
cookies.
eternal, oh, I thought it was fast forwarding. Eternal Youth Spa. And then they leave, and then they go back later because, like, I can't stop thinking about it. I want more cookies. And then they end up getting freeze sprayed, gas blasted. Alfred gets kind of sickish. That happens before they go back. So they end up going back. They end up getting freezed by the gas blast. And then Batman is all like, something's going on at that place. And he shows up and he finds Poison Ivy. Surprise, surprise. So then the Batman and the Ivy of Poisonness. Yeah, Batman finds out that Alfred is now turning into a tree, because we find out that the freezy freeze gassy gas turns people into treesy trees. But it starts off with the exoskeleton, so Alfred's just like in a tree shell. The Batman defeats the Poison Ivy by hucking a batarang at her serum, which lands on the ground, and unlike what we were led to believe at the beginning of the episode, it just makes a big frickin' tree happen. A really big tree. It makes, like, the world's biggest tree, by at least 1,000 times, come popping out of the ground. It catches her in the growth and pins her against this glass ceiling, which somehow doesn't immediately shatter. It does later. But you just find all these hench people tied up in the trees, and all the tree people were also somehow tied up in the trees, that I guess Batman then cuts them down with the bat saw. He fixes them, and the end.
Wow.
Here you go for episode 17. Michael Jackson from the front, Carmen Sandiego from the back.
Oh, God. These are impossibly long. Harvey Dent is having a kind of multiple personality nightmare, dissociative identity disorder. You get the impression that it's either some bad person who knows what, or who knows what. The guy likes flipping coins. But anyway, we move forward. Harvey Dent is in an election season, and he's trying to get elected. There's a raid happening on some building that Harvey's been working on for months. There's some bad guys. There's a police operation going on inside. They've got a raid going on in this building, and of course it is foiled by the Batman. The bad guys, whilst being arrested, kind of trigger Harvey, and he starts showing his other personality. He assaults one of the criminals, who's in handcuffs in front of the... Oh, I see what you're doing there. Who's in front of all the news reporters. That gets out. It's kind of a bad look for Harvey, but he ends up winning the election. Is that right? Batman throws him a party that's supposed to be like a campaign booster thing. Politics, man. Harvey has another blow up, and you're starting to get to find out that Harvey's actually going to therapy, and it's not just regular therapy, it's hypnotherapy. Like, look at the watch kind of therapy. Harvey ends up winning the campaign, and it's immediately blackmailed, thrown into limbo, and brought to Rupert Thorne. They're blackmailing him because they have his therapy records and all of his stuff, and Harvey goes kind of nutso. Big Bad Harv comes out and starts kicking ass. And Batman And Batman's like, hey, here I am. They kind of like kick ass, even though Harvey's kicking ass in like a bad way, and Batman's kicking ass in a good way. I don't know how this works. Long story short, thank God I said that. Some bad guys are all shooting at Harvey. He clips a high voltage line and makes some blowy uppy happen in Harvey's face, and Harvey loses half his face. And that's where Batman goes, no. Harvey goes to the hospital and they do reconstructive surgery. The doctors are removing the Band-Aid and Harvey reenacts the Joker scene from the 1989 Batman. Harvey sees his messed up face in the mirror and he stumbles out of the hospital room just in time to see his fiancée, who sees his ugly face and faints. And then Harvey Dent, now Two-Face, is like, Jamie Strecker, my fiancée, goodbye. And then... What's her name?
Grace.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. And then the lightning flashes and he jumps out of a window. He's in a hospital robe. His booty's certainly showing. Oh, that's the end.
Oh, hell yeah. What's the next episode?
Next episode, one shoe, legs in the air, flowers flying everywhere.
That's what we should end
You
with.
fucker. Look at how short this is.
Michael Jackson San Diego gives Harvey's girlfriend a tracker that brings them to Two-Face, and then they have a fight because they stole his stuff, and the end. Harvey's kind of like on a crime bender and his Wonder Twins to mess up Rupert Murdoch's businesses. It's just a lot of drama with Batman really trying to save Harvey from being completely Two-Face. Next episode, 19. Suddenly there came a Robin.
I haven't had enough of a break. And this one is, at least your next one is, your next one's bigger.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Robin showed up. The end.
Yeah.
There's a guy who's really good at playing football. Everyone thinks he's gonna do good football things. Then he just starts freaking out for no reason. People are like, why is he freaking out for no reason? We're gonna take you to the police infirmary. Batman and Robin are riding in the Batmobile. They go to stop some criminals because Batman noticed a necklace dropping from a skyscraper. Batman and Robin are going up the building. The bad guys are like, we're gonna stop you. And then Robin just starts freaking the fuck out. Batman narrowly
This
escapes.
is on the Fox Kids commercial. And Robin starts freaking the fuck out.
Batman narrowly escapes death by jumping into a window of an incredibly aroused woman. He gives her kind of a wink and smile while Robin is still holding onto the building for dear life. They end up back at Rogers' Dome. Oh, Brian Rogers' Dome. And find out that the telegram was laced with
her
some...
own name.
Yeah.
You skipped over it.
I really did. With some druggy drugs. Then Batman's like, we're going to figure this out and take it back to my cat experimentation laboratory. They find out that Scarecrow must be up to something. They go to jail where all of Batman's villains that he caught are conveniently in these glass door cells in their costumes. Poison Ivy's hanging out with the plant. Joker's playing cards. Two-Face Harvey, who shouldn't be in prison but should be in a mental, getting some kind of help. He's in jail, flipping a coin. I'm just not going to make a political statement here. Batman...
Like you're like describing things for like, they're just in these like cells. Like this is the first time you're seeing these specific things.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Batman gets this hunch that the Scarecrow's not actually in his little not prison cell, and sure enough, it's a decoy dummy in there, not actually Scarecrow. They go out searching for Scarecrow. They find him at a football game. Robin's sleuthing around because he's a dick. So with Batman such Scarecrow fight on some scaffolding. Scarecrow's gonna poison the whole place, kind of accidentally. It was his insurance plan. They're having a scuffle, the Batman and the Scarecrow, and the vial gets dropped, and Robin gets over his fears and saves the day with some amazing commentary from the commentators who are actually commentating on the football game and not Robin, but it lines up. But then Batman ends with a terrible pun and I cry.
And I cried.
Next episode, Lockpick Umbrella Gas.
Oh, this is a good one. Oh, this is episode 20, listener.
Hey, listener, just like maybe start cleaning your house.
Yeah, you got this. You can get through this. There's some bad guys that bust into a museum to steal a big shiny egg with some good lighting effects. And rather than a circle through the glass, they cut a perfect equilateral triangle. They play the claw game that you'd see outside of many, like, places where claw games would exist. They're about to make their getaway on the rooftop, and then Batman's like, "You're not gonna steal that egg." And then a big, rare South American vulture decides to kick Batman's ass. The bad guys get away with the egg, and Batman just kind of scratches his chin and throws his hands up and walks away. And then he says, "Birdseed." Some kids are playing outside, and one of them's like, "I'm gonna be a detective." And the girl's like, "Whatever your name is, Sherble." And then some bullies come up and go like, "Shamaram, you're a detective? We're gonna take this stuff." One of them is definitely Baby Fonzie. And then Regina George is all like, "You can't have the stuff." One of the kids sees the same vulture that kicked the shit out of Batman. He's like, I'm gonna get on my bike and follow this. Sherbs and Robs are busting into this abandoned, condemned lair of the bad guys that stole the egg from the museum and the penguin. Not the raven, not the chicken, despite his first words, the penguin. The kids are like, it's the penguin, as they're dumping birdseed off a catwalk for no reason. They're birdseeding the ground. Batman shows up, he's doing okay at foiling the bad guy's plot, and then the kids press the off button and the conveyor belt starts. And they're gonna be in danger of getting chopped up like the birdseed. But Batman saves them last minute and kicks them out of the place as if he's an angry parent. He goes back to arrest the bad guys, and the penguin gets the drop on him and hits him with some poison gas. Batman stumbles out to the Batmobile. He goes, "Sherbet." No. The baddies are going after him, and the kids decide to rescue Batman by throwing him in the Batmobile, pressing a bunch of buttons until they can get away, and then they get away. Batman awakens. They're in Sherble Rabble's basement, and he's not in a good way. And he's like, "Kids, get the antidote out of the visor of my car." And they're like, "What? I don't speak English." The bad guy shows up at Sherbet's house. Sherbet and his friends decide to home alone the penguin and his lackeys, and they're doing a pretty good job kicking their asses, but they don't do a good enough job, and they end up back in the basement. And the penguin's like, "I'ma steal this egg and kill all of you and Batman." And then Batman's like, "I'm suddenly awake. I'm gonna kill you." And the fucking penguin's like, "Take no prisoners. Murder the children. Squawk!" Batman saves the day. He beats up the penguin's umbrella. And then the mom comes home and is like, "My house is destroyed. You home aloned it, Sherbet." She comes down into the basement and she's like, "Oh, it's Batman. Hello." And then Sherbet's like, "You want to hook up with my mom?" And they all laughed, and it was the end. Here's episode 21, Unbelievably Tiny Gloves.
I remember those gloves. Or were they supposed to be like a scale?
It's a scale, yeah. I used that recently in a video where I described it as a tiny glove.
Oh,
you don't
nice.
get to watch it.
Damn it.
I know.
Spider-Man Conway's on a boat.
Good start. Spider-Man.
He's been arrested by the copies, and then and then suddenly the copies are like, "Oh no, there's a bomb on the boat," and abandon the ship, and it goes bam, and Batman's like, "Oh, whoa," and then everyone's like, "Must have been Bullock that did this. We saw the toothpicks. A couple of no-good cronies have been set up, and it looks like Detective Bullock is an evildoer, and Batman's pretty certain he's an evildoer, but then Batman roughs up Rupert Murdoch and says," there we are, "Yeah, no, it's not the guy who's the evildoer. You're wrong." And Batman's like, "I guess, okay." Bullock's framed. Batman decides to get to the bottom of it, finds Crocodile Man, battles him in the sewers. This croc has been setting up Bullock. They have a fight to the death, and the death doesn't happen. The Batman decides to deliver the killer Croc Man to Bullock on a silver platter, man. The end.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was so quick.
Yeah, I bet you're real sorry.
I'm going to have to start doing it. I can already feel my voice like
I'm doing it less
up.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get over it quickly, and that seems fitting for the
Yeah,
pacing.
okay. Yeah.
Anyway, episode 22, I see a bad moon. We're a quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Good stuff.
Episode 22, I see a bad moon transition.
I do see that.
You
right
do.
here on the paper. What are you looking at while I'm doing
So
this? You're just
this
reading
is-
another book while I'm reading this too. You don't even fucking care.
No, check it.
It's pictures.
It's, well, after the introduction, it's just nothing but pictures. And this is, well, mostly. And this is me keeping my ADD in check so I can sit here.
All right.
I'm going to look at the pictures.
To start off the episode, the Titanic sunk. There was like 3 minutes of the Titanic sinking, which is all just to set up the idea that Nosferatu, this psychic dude who's predicted this ship sinking, and the dude shouldn't get on it. We're pretty quickly led to believe that this guy is a quack and or making tragedies happen to bolster his psychic predictions. Nostromos turns out to be a bad dude who is running this scam to get money out of rich dudes. Bruce goes to see one of his performance prediction things, his David Blaine act. He's audibly unimpressed and is being distracting in the show, so Nostromos gets all upset at Bruce for talking during his performance and basically is like, "You're next, buddy," and makes his cup explode. Nostromos' henchman goes to sabotage Bruce's elevator. Some lackey who works in the lobby is like, "Oh, Bruce, your personal elevator is working really well now. The repairman just told me." And Bruce is like, "Oh, that's probably funny, but thanks." The elevator thing actually blows up and some acid gets dumped on it. All normal things. So he fights a guy on the roof, and then Bruce Wayne's like, I know Nostromo's a bad guy, I'm gonna go to the Brotherhood meeting, and he does, and then all the chaos happens, and he kidnaps the daughter, and then the fight, and then the end. You skipped so much of that. Here's You Get episode 23, it's Holes, baby!
Oh, yeah. Enter Bruce Wayne in a mission, serving food and peeling potatoes. This dude who works at the mission is like, yeah, people are just disappearing and the cops won't help. And Bruce Wayne's like, I bet I could get myself kidnapped. He makes himself to look like a homeless dude and gets himself kidnapped and disappeared in the same way. Fast forwarding.
Oh, no. At least I put a little bit of water in mine between. Delicioso.
Fast forwarding, Bruce gets himself dropped off at some southwestern American work camp. Somehow we go from a New York landscape to like straight frickin' Utah. Bruce lost his memory. He was forgotten. He got hit with a breadstick. Bruce doesn't know who he is. He turns out there's a huge fat warden who's constantly eating. He's got way too much moisture in his throat. Bruce is trying to really trying to figure out. Yeah. Trying to figure out who he is. He's making some buddies. After a bunch of hijinks, he gets his memory back and makes a break for it. He's making a break for it. Alfred, who's been working in the background to track down where Bruce Wayne is, comes flying in the Bat-Wing, doing a spot-on Star Wars impression. Alfred comes to the rescue, and Bruce Wayne is like, cool, I'm Batman now. And then Batman raids the work camp, gets a lot of the bad guys killed. In no uncertain terms, they either explode or get crushed by rocks. But it's okay, because Batman saves the worst bad guy. They get away, he goes to jail. Batman's talking with his buddies, who he's freed from the labor camp. The outro's a bit silly, because they're all like, it's okay, we'll all get a house together. We'll help you out, fellow work camp buddy. And in that moment, Alfred's like, come here, Bruce, jump into your limo. And he's like, I work at a place, if you want a job. Oh, sorry, I'm closing my door and leaving. I didn't hear you if you say yes. We don't have any openings at the moment. This is awkward. Bye.
I mean, we never saw those guys.
Yeah, no. It'd be cool if you saw them like in the background of the Wayne Manor, just
Wayne Enterprises.
polishing his shoes or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, that would be really fun. That would be cool.
Big old teeth on for Alice, episode 24.
Okay.
You doing okay?
Yeah.
Listener, you doing okay?
You're doing okay? There's a really good scientist who has figured out how to do mind control. He has a headband, and as long as he's got a chip that is on this other mammal, anyway, he's got the hots for his secretary, Alice. He does science there. Apparently he does good science, and Bruce Wayne appreciates his science, but it doesn't seem like he's got any guidance, maybe. He's got big Alice teeth happening, and it's creepy as hell. It's terrifying. She's got a boyfriend. He's all upset about that. Jervis gets all excited when they break up, and then he decides to take Alice out on a night on the town in a Mad Hatter costume, which nobody seems to question. That's just the way he is. She seems grateful that he kind of got her out of the gutter, a good friend thing, but he's taking it to the nines. He's mind-controlling waiters and people at the zoo, and they go to an Alice in Wonderland exhibit. He starts with these criminals. They happen to be wearing headbands, and he tucks the control chips into these dudes' hats and hair and bangs and behind their ears and by their neck, like in the neck collar. You'll like this next one. Episode 25, please sign my Batman poster.
I don't like the way that you... Oh!
I'm being serious. You will like it. Yeah.
Oh my God, Jamie. That's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Past Brian.
Thank you, Past Brian.
There's a guy who really likes a lot of riddles, and he decided to mess with the Batman, but the Batman got the best of him in the end, and he fooled him, and that's basically how it ended.
Nice.
Episode 26, Batman's Colander of Dreams.
Oh, cool. I like this one, too.
Yeah, that one's pretty short.
The fact that you can see, like, so many on this page is, like, a good sign.
Yeah. Maybe that was probably around the time where you're like,
I have
by
this
the
idea
way,
for this thing.
We're going to read all of these
well,
later.
Some of them are still incredibly long. All right. Batman's Calendar of Dreams. The episode opens and Batman is having a car chase and things are ramping up. He breaks into a building and is surprised with a big flashy light with some stars in his eyes. Batman wakes up kind of confused, and he seems like he's in kind of an alternative reality. As the episode trucks along, Bruce becomes more and more convinced that he's living in a dream, especially when he goes to read the newspaper and it says... Then Batman goes all suicidal, jumps off a bell tower, and finds out the Mad Hatter was behind it all. Episode 27, Everything is Bad. I think this is Sewer King, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, maybe. Yep. I think you're right. Half the episode wasn't a plot. It started with really bad art. There was a couple of kids on a train playing chicken. They were standing on top of the train being like, chicken, yeah. Batman saves them from getting, I don't know, run into something at the last minute. There's a bunch of kids that live in a sewer. There's an evil dictator who is the sewer king. He's a piece of shit. And he's got kids in the dark and they're not allowed to talk, and Batman finds out about it and he's like, you have children, and then they fight. Batman blows up a door and they fight some more, and then a kid says, the light, the light.
The light.
Episode 28. It's milk.
God. Okay. A lot of flashbacks. Young Bruce is at some dojo and he's learning to karate pretty hard. And there's a guy who's flaunting his betterness than Bruce. And his sensei, his master, is all like, hey, don't be rude. And then, he apologizes or whatever. But then later, he tries to steal a very expensive sword from his sensei, and Bruce catches him, and they're gonna fight, and the sensei is all like, I saw what you're trying to do, get out of here! Bruce ends up having a karate enemy who is better at karate than him. Fast forward. I don't want to cheers. Fast forward to the future. And it turns out this dude, Cobra Kai, has this lifelong vendetta against Bruce and all his money, and decides to slowly dismantle Wayne Enterprises. Then the Batman has to stop him, but not without the help of his good dick. There's a good old fight. There's a big old fight, and Bruce Man defeats the guy, and Cobra Kai's like, I'm out of here, and throws a Greek statue through a window and dives into the water and makes a getaway. Episode 29, Saggy Back Brain.
Okay, at least you get a little bit of a break. Mm-hmm. Like there's becoming I don't know if it's spit or
it's spit from just now. Yeah. It flew out of my mouth onto the page.
Judge Maria Vargas is being clearly blackmailed by a couple of thugs with tape on a building. Batman shows up and is like, I'm gonna stop the bad guys, and he kind of stops the bad guys. But this tape that Maria's holding on to, hoping to go after takes a stage dive off the bridge. She almost does, but Batman does a thing. We find out...
use your imagination.
We find out that this tape came from a retreat place because the license plate were from this retreat place that Maria was just at. So Bruce Wayne and Alfred go to this place, like this de-stress center thing with Dr. Strange. Dr. Hugo Strange.
Hugo.
Some strange guy with a warped head. Dr. Strange has a thing that basically reads your memories and turns into videotapes. He uncovers Batman's secret identity in Bruce Wayne. He's like, I'm gonna call up the Joker and Two-Face and the Baka Penguin, and then get them to auction off in one room the tape for his identity. Some other stuff happens. Last minute, Bruce Wayne manages to fabricate a new tape, which is of Dr. Strange saying, you guys, you bad guys are stupid. I'm going to make money off selling you a tape, but it's all falsified. Thinking is exactly the same as memories at the very end. 3 baddies, the Joker, Two-Face, and the Penguin basically steal Dr. Strange glove. There's a plane crash and Robin's on stilts playing Bruce Wayne, and it's fucking awful.
Tomorrow afternoon on fire.
Infamous episode for you, Jamie. Episode 30, Tiger Twiger. It's pronounced Twiger the second time.
Thank you for doing that properly.
Yeah.
Okay. Selena Kyle finds herself at the zoo after hours for some reason. She wants to visit a normal tiger, and an ape man with a tranq gun shoots her in the neck. Fast forward.
Oh, wow, that one was quick.
You're like, Brian, why would you say this? Why wouldn't you know? Fast forward, Bruce Wayne finds out, and Batman's up. He found a blowgun thing, went to Man-Bat, and found out that, it's this guy, Dorian Gray, probably. They're on the Isle of Dr. Moreau Dorian Gray. Dorian is doing all sorts of experiments turning people and non-people into animal people, and he's made Selena Kyle all catsy woman. She's like an actual cat woman, like woman cat. Batman shows up to try to stop the evil doing. Tigress, the pinnacle of all whatever, is there to stop him, and they have some battles, and then Batman wins over Tigress with his good morals. He leaned into his teen angst. Episode 31, Scarecrow's Raspberry Febreze.
Oh my. Here we are, Jamie. Mm-hmm. The show opens in Arkham Asylum when we find out that the Batman is in there and he's in a straitjacket. Like, he's all in costume still, locked up, and they're like, you're delusional as fuck. And he's like, you gotta believe me. We move forward into a rather lengthy film.
That was almost a move forward.
Yeah. to a rather lengthy film noir style voiceover from Batman explaining his situation. So then we get some flashbacks. Batman is at a health spa kind of place. They do this a lot, don't they?
What?
Health spa kind of place, mind control. Whatever that was called.
You're just seeing the patterns now.
Yeah. Batman finds Mr. Drill Hand in the basement, who's trying to taint the water supply of his health spa. We find out that upon fighting Mr. Screwy Drill, he kind of foiled the plot, but some gas was released and they both start having a bad time. Batman's hallucinating, and we're all like, oh no, what red mist could make Batman see bad things happen? So Batman gets all inoculated with fear gas and is having a bad time. And he's trying to solve crimes, but he's not. And he's captured and he can't get out of the place. And eventually he gets out of the place. There's a gunfight. Well, there's a tranquilizer gunfight with some guards. Batman gets led to the sewers where Scarecrow and cronies are. He has quite a hallucinatory experience. A rat turns into the Joker, and the Penguin comes out of the ground and is the size of a building. The Penguin grows big, the Penguin's head explodes, and suddenly the Penguin is Two-Face. And now, I guess he's like Three-Face, or like Two-Face, Two-Body. Batman watches his parents walk into the tunnel, and he's like, no! And then the tunnel starts coming out of the ground, and it's a giant pistol with seemingly blood pouring out of it, which was one of the cooler graphical things to happen.
Everything, yeah.
They have a fight. Batman overcomes his fear. Batman makes the explodey stuff happen because things explode in Gotham. And the Scarecrow gets a rather large dose of his own medicine. And then Batman takes a 2-day nap and an upside-down bat flexes in front of the moon and makes some nightlight action happen.
I love the ones that end with like every last little detail of the ending.
Oh my God.
And then Batman turns around and walks away.
I'm hating it now. But anyway, you're not going to hate.
We love to hate this podcast episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're not going to hate episode 32. Slip on the chocolate hot sauce.
Oh, damn. Oh, that's pretty short, man.
Yeah, right? You're welcome.
We start out and we're learning about Bruce's favorite TV show as a child, The Grey Ghost, which is not Tigress. Basically, there's a bad guy who is ripping off the actions of a villain in The Grey Ghost, the Mad Bomber, kind of reliving it in real-world Gotham. Bruce gets the idea and needs to enlist the help of the Grey Ghost actor Simon Trent. He's hesitant at first. Batman talks him into it. They track down the ne'er-do-well, who's Bruce Timm, pretty obviously. I don't know, they stop him, the end. You get episode 33, Kiss Off, You Dumb Cluck.
Oh my God, hell yeah. It starts with a courtroom scene, and Selena/Catwoman is in trouble with the law, but she gets off with 5 years probation, and the whole place erupts into applause, and that's about as good as the episode gets. Daggett Industries is experimenting on animals, like on strays, and they've got bad henchmen, and there's a toxin that makes them immediately, like, bad and contagious, like 28 days later. You have these animals that are, like, super angry, and Catwoman's trying to stop them, and her cat gets abducted by them, and there's a bad chase scene, and everybody gets out, and Batman saves the day, the fucking end.
Just say the fucking end.
Yes. Episode 34. Lay off Batman. It's my suitcase. I'm Seth Green.
Like imagining like you get the press release from Warner Brothers like, hey, what? Like, So there's a guy who goes by the name of Jimmy the Jazzman, and he's a bad guy. He's really got it out for Commissioner Gordon. He, like, messed up one of his biggest scores or whatever. The police are thinking they're getting the jump on him and his cronies, but it turns out it was a setup. Commissioner Gordon got shot and put out of commission. He was in the hospital, put in a coma. Batman has a really bad time. He's blaming himself. He's not eating or sleeping. He's just kind of moping around being a little bitch. He's throwing his computers off of cliffs. They're somehow not exploding. The commissioner wakes up. Jimmy the Jazzman tries to make another go on his life. Everyone's there to stop him. The commissioner wakes up, and happy ending. You said the commissioner wakes up twice. Batman finds out that
maybe he wakes up twice. I don't know.
He might have. Batman finds out that he's worthy and people like him, and he tries to strangle Seth Green for picking up his own suitcase. Killer Croc from the Neck Down, episode 35.
Wow.
Your favorite keen effect in all of BTAS. Memory Lane is this episode, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you got quite the large one here. You want to split it up a little bit if you want?
You know what I'm not happy about?
What?
So look at the length of this
yeah,
one.
and then it's the entire.
And then look at
how
and you short
get another,
yours is,
yeah,
and
another
then
long one.
Another huge one.
Do you want to take the tiny one after that? And I don't know.
Yeah,
skip
I'll
one?
do 2 in a row.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck it.
All right, cool.
The screen comes up and we are presented with a bunch of familiar bad guys' hands, and they're playing some cards. It's kind of like a clip show, like what we're doing right now.
The screen comes up.
You get a bunch of bad guys: Killer Croc, your Poison Ivy, and Joker, and Two-Face, and everybody giving some synopsis about how they almost got Batman. Did I just like
Synopsis? We're so drunk.
Yeah, right. Which I think basically is like, killed Batman.
Meaning
like they almost killed Batman in some pretty entertaining ways. We start off with Poison Ivy. She had a pumpkin patch full of exploding pumpkins with poison gas. She almost got him. She was foiled at the last minute because Batman uppercut the crap out of her and she went flying back. Some lights exploded and then all the gas and stuff started to happen, and the Batmobile ran over her, and then she almost got him. Next up, we have Two-Face, which is more elaborate. He's got a gang, the 2-Ton Gang, which is 4 guys. Two-Face basically ties up Batman to a giant penny, and he has, God, this is so... He has this huge seesaw thing going on where he's going to drop a bunch of gold bricks on a massive forklift on one side and flip Batman on this massive coin on the other. And if it lands face down, Batman's got to get squashed. If it lands tails up, it'll just break every bone in his body. Wouldn't you know it? Batman stole his lucky coin. And as he's in the air, he's using it to saw off these ropes. Batman somehow has it. So Batman, of course, escapes. The 2 henchmen get brutally massacred by the flying penny. So then, like, it was the Penguin who had a bat versus bird thing going on. There's this aviary or something, and Batman's lured into a trap. Penguin's like, "Ha-ha, Batman, you walked right into my trap. Now here, fight 5 hummingbirds." And then it's like a minute and a half of Batman just doing some flaily dance move to get this page separated from the other page. Away from these hummingbirds. But don't worry, folks. It wasn't that he was just fighting hummingbirds. He was fighting hummingbirds with poison-tipped beaks. Boy, howdy. So Batman suffered a little bit and then pulls out an antidote gun. And the Penguin's like, "I knew you were going to pull out an antidote gun. So now here's like an ostrich with a bone on its head that you have to fight too." Everybody can guess what happens next. Batman grabs a hummingbird, uses it as a sword, stabs at the cassowary, and stabs the cassowary in the ankle. And the Penguin...
This is like skipping the part where we Googled what an ostrich with a bone on its head
is. And the Penguin flies the coop. So that's how Penguin almost got him. And then we switch to Killer Croc, a.k.a. Batman. Killer Croc is like, "I got a story about how I almost got him. I almost hit him with a rock." And then everyone is just staring at him like, "Oh yeah, good for you, buddy." And then we round it out with the Joker. The Joker has a pretty elaborate plan. Basically, he's taken over a TV studio that's 95% black and white. He's hooked up Batman to an electric chair that, if you laugh, it goes shock. The more you laugh, the more shock it go. Then he unleashes some laughing gas, and Batman's getting actively fried. Sorry.
You're fired, man. Get out of here.
Harley Quinn is there. Probably important to say that. Batman's getting literally electrocuted to death, and then Catwoman comes in, basically saves the day, beats up Harley Quinn, and kind of accidentally frees Batman. Batman manages to free himself. What am I saying? I don't know, Jamie. Why am I saying these things?
What am I saying?
And then some stuff happens, and it turns out Harley Quinn actually gets Catwoman, and the Joker's like, "Well, there's more than one way to get a bat," or whatever he said. And so we find out that Catwoman is gonna be turned into cat food.
This one needs like a...
Did music get quieter?
No, it's been going. It's good.
Anyway. So we find out that Catwoman is gonna get turned into cat food. That's what Batman's like, "Ta-da, check it out, I'm Batman, not actually Killer Croc." And then every person in the building is a cop, and every cop in the city, every person in the building is a cop, every cop in the city. Oh, okay. There's like a 4-minute sequence of guns just cocking. Batman now has figured out...
It was like exactly 13 seconds or something like that.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
Batman now has figured out where Catwoman is, and so he can get out of the costume and then go save her. So there's kind of this humorous end of the episode where Harley Quinn is going to shred up Catwoman like, "You can't save us both, Batman." Then he grabs Harley Quinn and just like turns off the power to the building, and that's the end. So this is like the longest description ever given.
I should say for the listener, I should have said this a while ago, Brian has a prize at the end of this also for getting through everything. Yeah.
Episode 36, Endless Supply of Mouth Gravy.
Yeah, you get this.
Milo, a returning bad guy, made a wolf serum that he gave to a very athletic rich guy and then turned into a werewolf. And then he fought Batman and the wolf got away, but Milo didn't. There was a zoo guy, his hat said zoo, they figured out he worked at a zoo. Is
that the whole thing?
Yeah. Oh my God. Episode 37, Our New Batman's a Woman.
Oh yeah. says Man-Bat, actually.
Does it?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay. Episode opens up, and we got a big bat creature tearing into some mangoes. And Batman's just like watching it happen. No, I guess he wasn't there for that. Batman calls up.
That would have been amazing to hear on like the actual TV
thing. Yeah. Wait, no, just kidding. Batman calls up Alfred on the Bat-Bike, and he's like, hey, guess what? Kurt Langstrom is at it again. And so he goes to figure out what's up with Kurt Langstrom, who's having all these bad nightmares about being a bat creature. It's Kirk, like the captain. Picard Langstrom. So, yeah, Kirk is having all these supposed nightmares, which also doesn't really track over the course of the episode, but all the same. Batman's like, why are you doing this? He's like, I don't think I'm doing this, but I'm trying to figure it out. And there's another guy who's all like, why are you doing this? And the daughter, whose name I can't remember right now, Francine, is all like, why are you doing this? And then decides to leave. Batman does some tests. Turns out it's not actually Kirk, but somebody else. So it turns out Francine, leaves. She's leaving on a jet plane. But it's not a jet plane, it's just a propeller plane. It's a plane with so much cabin pressure. More cabin pressure than you can even imagine. It's basically an airborne submarine. So Francine's at 3,000 feet, if that.
3,000.
Yep. Francine's not feeling too good. Turns out Kirk is also on the plane trying to get her back after she left. And wouldn't you know it, she turns into Man-Bat, and she's been the Man-Bat this whole time, at least since the dad character accidentally poisoned her with broken glass and bat serum. Then Batman comes by on the Batwing, which is good because Batscene busts a hole in the airplane door, and explosive decompression happens, and all sorts of stuff, including Kirk, fly out the door. And then Batscene rescues him from the sky for whatever reason and flies up to a bridge, and Batman is also there. Although not before using his arthroscopic surgery skills by carefully closing the airplane I can't read either. Airplane door with a big extending arm on the Batwing. And then there's a Batscene and Batman battle on the top of this bridge in the snow, and Batman hits her with a couple of doses of antidote. Batscene turns back into Francine, and Kirk Langstrom wakes back up right at the right time because he's about to slip off the bridge, and he catches her and says, I'm not gonna let you go again. And then Batman's like, good job, buddy, and then flies away in the Batwing, leaving them stranded on the top of a bridge with no way to get down. Batman's just like, cool. Peace. Episode 38, Thoughts of Christmas with the Joker with Dylan Pollock.
Oh,
and this
wow.
was a synopsis by Dylan Pollock.
We should. Oh no.
We should invite Dylan Pollock.
Yeah, we should have Dylan. Dylan, where are you, Dylan?
He's here.
Are people listening to this still?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, Joker, for some reason, has a rocket attached to a Christmas tree. He uses said rocket to propel himself out of Arkham Asylum, presumably not going through any kind of glass ceiling or anything, but then he somehow manages to take over all television networks whilst Batman and Robin are preparing for It's a Wonderful Life, which he asks us if it's a cheery movie, and I'm pretty sure George Bailey contemplates suicide for at least half of it, so no, I don't think it is. Then Batman, for some reason, knows why a toy factory's been closed down for 14 to 15 years. Not weird at all. And then for some reason, Batman pulls out a bat. Because he's Batman, obviously, Dylan. For some reason, a telescope turns into a cannon. For some reason. The Joker's using his chin to talk like his chin is his face. Then he pulls off his chin, which is a weird ACOM-y type thing. And then I guess Joker was like, you know what? I've done all this not to actually kill Batman, but I really want to throw a pie in his face, and he did. And I really wish we could have fucking. I'm so sorry, Dylan. I just really could have seen Joker have a seat, Batman, whoopee cushion, have a sniff, Batman, flower that shoots water. But then we didn't get all of that. But then eventually Joker loses his sleeves, which have hands on them, which almost falls to his death. And then Batman catches him, and then they watch It's a Wonderful Life. Now on to episode 39, squeezing the money sign, pound sign, exclamation point 7 out of his feet.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you pronounce that.
I think
it's pronounced Twiger.
Oh, shit. Only the second time, though.
Yeah, we got a lot of short ones coming up. That's good.
That's great.
Everyone's leaving Wayne Enterprises, and a mysterious blonde woman walks up to the security booth and drops off a briefcase and walks out. And the guy's like, hey, what's that all about? And the security guy then picks up the briefcase and is like, I'm going to take this to the back room to talk to other security guards about it. And they talk about it, and they're like, maybe it's a bomb. And they open it up, and it's not a bomb, it's a briefcase. And they're like, okay, well, let's not worry about that. Turns out the briefcase is a robot, hell-bent on stealing information from Wayne Enterprises. It sucks up all the floppy disk wafers into its mouth hole. There's a guy that Bruce Wayne meets to talk about AI or whatever. There's a big computer that's controlling a lot of stuff, and I think the girl that Bruce Wayne has a crush on is actually a robot. No, I know she's a robot. Episode 40, Dready Ghost White Boys.
Oh, the guys from The Matrix?
Yeah.
Hardak, the computer, is going absolutely mental, going against the eyes.
That sounds like the start of a Star Wars text scroll. Hardak the robot is going absolutely mental. The Republic is blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Going against the Asimov's rule of whatever, and everybody is a robot clone. And then Barbara Gordon becomes a superhero and saves Batman as Batman is kind of saving the day, and everybody gets away, and all the robots die. The end.
Oh, that's nice.
Dorsal appendage of the hand, episode 41.
That says aspect. Did you know how to read?
No. No, I don't. What did I say?
You said appendage. This is aspect.
Oh, yeah. No, that's my brain trying to make all this go faster.
Yeah, all right. Edward Nygma got kind of screwed out of a deal making a video game and decided to become the Riddler and decided to ruin the life of the business guy who got him fired and was basically stealing all of his work. Riddler comes to be. He makes an elaborate trap for a rich guy and makes a huge maze based on the video game that Batman and Robin have to solve in order to save this dude's life. And then they do. But the Riddler gets away because he's like already leaving on a jet plane. Episode 42, the Syringal Joker-Nocile.
Jamie, that says the
original Joker mobile. Oh, fuck, I'm so drunk.
There's a rich guy whose name I never got. He's forgettable. He owns a casino. He roughly rebranded.
That should have been, I'm glad it's not, but that should have been another take a sip if Brian can't remember the name of a character.
Oh my God, right. This isn't turning out as badly as I thought it might.
Yeah.
Considering we are one episode away from halfway.
Hell yeah.
He owns a casino roughly rebranded to be a lure to the Joker. He took out some insurance policies on this rebranded casino of his in order to try to trick the Joker into blowing up his building so he could collect the insurance money. Batman informs the Joker that he's been had. Joker still tries to kill Batman like 8 or 12 times. It doesn't happen. The Batman just keeps beating up the Joker and the rich guy gets away. Halfway there.
Hell yeah.
We should drink it halfway.
Okay.
Episode 43. Harback.
Should we finish what's in the glass?
No.
Agreed. Harback, you say?
We're only halfway there.
Yeah, we got it. We're living on a prayer.
That's right, because there was 2 Harback episodes, right?
Yeah. Well, there's 3.
Is there 3?
Part 1, Part 2, and then Harback.
Oh my God.
Before getting blown up, Hardak made an absolutely super perfect Bruce Wayne, aka Batman duplicate.
I remember that.
Who decides that, in a crazy roundabout way, there should be only one Batman. And so they fight, and Batman's like, you gotta be like a nut. You gotta be not like hurting people and breaking stuff. And so he goes, yep, but you gotta go away because there can be only one Batman. And then he fights him, and then they fight over the edge of a cliff, and Batman goes, and then Hardak Man Batman goes, fuck, I killed a dude, now I'm gonna blow shit up, and then he dies. Episode 44, Batman Goes East, which is the first time we called it the synopsis.
What?
Halfway through, man.
First time we called this. No, that's a good little note you put there.
Yeah, I know.
So Batman and Tim Burton are on the...
Good way to start.
So Batman and Tim Burton are on the torch pit of a rather awkwardly positioned Gotham Statue of Liberty. Notably a gift from Belgium. Somehow Shadow Warriors come to disrupt Tim Burton, giving Batman all the information, and Tim Burton gets thrown into the ocean, but he's probably alive. The Batman starts... The Batman starts fighting the Shadow guy. Okay, hold up. How much of a problem do you think this has caused for, like, kids in the past?
To jump in water from heights.
They're like, oh, cool, we can totally jump off this,
an accidental, problem coming from trying to censor stuff,
yeah, my God.
Tim Burton something.
Yeah.
Falls in the water.
He's probably alive. The Batman starts fighting the shadow guys. They basically say, "Not today, not today."
That's exactly how you did it.
Thank you. And then they kill themselves, but they don't kill themselves. They just erase their memory with gas, which somehow. Can you press the plot device button?
Yeah, I got
Plot device.
Was the build-up good?
Yeah. Batman just knows what's happened just by looking at the dude's eyes and poking his shoulder a couple times. Fast forward.
You grab the glass. I'm like, why is he? Oh no.
It's getting easier to drink.
Yeah. That's not a good sign.
Yeah. And there's a disrupting gun. Invisible death ray. It destroys the ground beneath people. It doesn't destroy people, I guess. There's basically a weapon that all the people want, that not only does a bad guy and his team of Shadow Ninjas want, but also some girl and maybe her team of Shadow Ninjas want. I don't think I ever registered her name. So Batman decides to go east, finds the Scooby-Doo castle. Shadow girls kind of helping out. They fall an incredibly long way, land directly on their faces, wake up in a room in a building that this girl knows all about, and also doesn't care that Bruce Wayne is now... My hands are dry. Let me stick it in some of this whiskey.
I'm gonna stick it in some of this.
Batman's completely exposed or whatever. Oh, that's right.
The ones that are past the halfway point, you're actually remembering.
Yeah. And they go get the gun thing, and the bad guy's like, nope. And then and then he's gonna kill them, and then like there's a room of death, and then like they go up the stairs of death, and then like the guy shoots the thing, and then they jump and grab the bells, and then like he's like, ow, my hand, and then like in parentheses for some reason, ears.
Yeah, this is where you were purposely adding in and then likes because you knew we were gonna read these back.
Yeah. And then like he jumps out of the building and then like falls into the river 1,000 feet below, but he's probably fine. And then like the girl steals the gun back, and then like Batman is like, I'm saying this because I know you want to read the things later. So basically bullshit happens and the gun gets destroyed because Batman put the end of a Q-tip in it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
In the gun.
Oh, episode 45 by ACOM. It's been pretty funny.
There's a dude running, and he's running in place, and he goes, oh, hey, I need to take a ATM money out of the ATM. And a riddle comes up, and his bank balance goes to 0, and he's still running in place, and now he's all upset. Then the stock market is crashing and closing early and all this stuff, and you get to find out that the Riddler is like messing with every computer in the world to, I guess, mess up money. Mess up that one guy's bank account, apparently. So Riddler's making a comeback. An impossibly large box is somehow delivered through the front door of the police station. It's a virtual reality machine. It fucks people up when they do stuff with it. The rest of the episode, basically they realize it's a virtual reality thing. Commissioner Gordon gets trapped in there because he's never used an Oculus before. So Batman went into VR, solved a bunch of not riddles, played chess, rode a Pegasus, crashed through space, I guess, had sledgehammer hands, and made multiples of himself, and then won because Edward Nygma couldn't think more than 32 times. Wow. Episode 46, Raw Joker Cheeseburger Bag Meat. Synopsed by Keen Machine.
Oh, I'm getting all the guest ones.
I almost took a drink.
You wanted to take a drink of that.
I almost took a drink. Gotta remember the rules.
We start out, and it's dark, and it's stormy, because it's Gotham City, and it's always dark and stormy. And then we see some fishermen pulling in their fish, and when they look at them, they're like, oh my god, it's disgusting, it's smiling. And Batman says he's made his move, and the city just goes into full crisis mode. It's on the news, it's in the newspaper, everyone's freaking out because the Joker's doing something. Batman starts to investigate, realizes pretty quickly that the toxins do not affect people, at least the version that's been released in the water, and then from there, it's the Joker threatening people if he doesn't get a copyright on the natural resource of fish. He manages not to kill, 2 people? From there, it's a chase into the aquarium, and then Batman smacks him around a little bit, and then the Joker, dies. Episode 47, Senor Trapezoidal Doorstop Marshmallow.
You got it.
Thanks. I need all the support I can get right now.
Joker's an asshole. Harley Quinn is definitely being abused.
Can you imagine that on the TV show?
This just in, Joker's an asshole. Yeah. Poison Ivy takes over and she's still a badass. They become the new crime-fighting duo. You said crime-fighting and neither of us got it. Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn fighting crime. Batman fails to catch them, and so does the Joker fail to catch them. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy get together. They're a great crime duo, the new queens of crime. And then they make some heists. Joker comes to get Harley Quinn back. They all lose. A couple of henchmen die. Batman takes Sleepy Joker and puts him in the Batmobile. They drive away into the sunset. And then Roberta Calindres captures Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, takes them to jail, and that's the end. Episode 48, Turbocharged Tri-Nitro Injectors.
Isn't that written on the wall somewhere?
Turbocharged Piston Poppers.
Oh, yeah, turbocharged piston poppers. Turns out Batman is not quite the driver he thought he was. A descending drawbridge smashes the front of the Batmobile.
You read this one even in the moment, like we're doing now, like a commercial.
Did I actually? Yeah. How do you remember this?
Because these are more recent, like I typed this latter half like 2 days ago.
Fair. Batman takes it to his old mechanic, Earl. The car, needing replacement parts, gets tracked by a couple of baddies, including the Penguin. The Penguin's henchmen sabotage Batmobile, and Batman is unable to be alerted to the problems until it's too late. The Batmobile, now driven by the Penguin, goes on a rampage in impossible ways that the Penguin, who's controlling it via RC, could not actually be controlling it. But alas, they make a last-second escape before the Batmobile explodes. Then Batman, I guess, catches Earl. Wait, what? And then Batman, I guess, catches Earl made an escape hatch. What? Made an escape hatch, and then they escape, and then they catch the Penguin because Earl's daughter fixes things, breaks the toes of the Penguin, and he goes to jail. Episode.
I wonder if that's a me fuck up or I don't know. That's how you said it. I have no idea.
It's really hard to tell. However, episode 49, Ragunzel, let down your guns.
Well, I gotta look at this, and then I think that's supposed to be like you stopped and then Batman, I guess, catches Earl made an escape hatch, and he didn't know what to say next. Ragunzel, let down your guns. There was a guy named Sidney, otherwise known as Sid, aka Sid the Squid. He was an idiot. He happened into the situation of being somebody that he wasn't. He silly pee-pee poo-pooed his way into becoming a crime overlord. All this stuff keeps happening to him. He accidentally pushes Batman off a building with his drunken kung fu, and everyone thinks that Batman is dead. So we go through the episode, and it's basically Sid accidentally crime bossing his way to the top, and then everybody wants to kill him because he's at the top, and then it turns out Batman's not dead. Episode 50, Downtown Dan Reba Brown.
Is this Dan Reba's?
No, you did this one. He did the Riddler's Reform one.
Okay. Bruce and Alfred are sitting in the audience watching Zatanna's magical performance. She's doing all this really rapid fire, super crazy magical stuff. And she comes to a kind of finale thing where she's going to disappear a bank with $10 million in it. And she disappears the bank. Everyone goes, ooh, ah. Then she reappears the bank. But the $10 million is gone. And oh no, the cops show up. A cop Did you make the font smaller?
Did I?
I'm wondering.
Between pages? I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess not.
It's just the elevator music. Did you make the font smaller? I don't think so.
Okay. A cop car drives onto stage from I don't know where, but a cop car but cop car on the stage. What? But cop car on the stage. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she gets arrested, and Bruce says, "Oh no, this is bad. I'm gonna fix this." Batman's up. She's being transported to the jail. He decides to bust in through the top of the cop car paddy wagon thing. Batman steals her away and is like, "We're gonna solve this. Come to the Batmobile with me." She's concerned she's a fugitive. She's absolutely a fugitive, but I think Batman is convinced that he's gonna solve everything. The next step is solving the crime. They go back to where she disappeared the bank and they find a lot of clues. Nearly escape getting caught again. We fast forward.
Woo-hoo, baby.
I know you want this drink, Jamie.
So, my body feels good. My brain is alive.
Can that be the subtitle of this episode?
Hang on, I'll write it down now. My body feels good. My brain is alive. All right.
Do you need me to pause?
No, I got it.
Okay. Zatanna and Batman show up at the dude's whose name I can't remember. Montague Kane's mansion. It's a trap. They get out of the trap. They find out he's definitely on an airplane, so they show up on the airplane. They get the baddie. He's a cool battle. Oh, there's a cool battle on the airplane wing.
He's a cool battle.
No, and presumably Batman lands the plane. Everybody goes home and has ice cream. The end. Pew Pew Part 2, Episode 51. Go.
Pew Pew Part 2 for Robin's Reckoning Part 1. There's two storylines going on here. One is a flashback, one is a now. I'll give you the now, trademark gorillas. Batman and Robin are on a building, there's a bad guy, and he gives the information that they needed to know. But it leads to this whole past childhood trauma of the man who killed Robin's parents. And so, Batman is going on a fucking bender trying to get to the dude who killed Robin's parents. The flashback Sinyap, and also, Batman and Robin are having a spat because Robin wants his revenge and Batman's trying to, elbow him out of it because Batman doesn't want him to get to the revenge, but Batman wants it for himself? I don't know. The flashback Sinyap is that Robin, because it was his origin story, was a circus kid. He was a flyer in a trapeze act with his parents. Some dude decided he wanted to get money from the manager of the circus, and if the manager of the circus says no. And so this guy's like, well, I'm going to kill some people, so then you're going to be sorry because I'm going to kill these people. And then so he kills Robin's parents, and then Bruce Wayne, who was in the audience the night Robin's parents died, is all like, yo, kid, come live with me because I like kids. So then there's some growing pains of Batman being a surrogate dad, and that's it. Episode 52, the olive green carpet in your grandparents' attic. Would you need to pause for anything?
No,
that's happening?
you?
Okay, no. You were looking at your phone. I want to make sure there was an emergency.
It's not an emergency.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of an emergency.
Should we pause?
I just like how that faded out.
No?
Penguins fuck. It's not an emergency.
Okay. Penguins fuck.
It's kind of an emergency.
What? Huh?
Penguin. It's not an emergency. No.
But a kind.
Yeah. Penguins fucking. It's like a low grade, severe emergency.
Okay. Well, should we pause?
Penguins fucking up. No, we don't need to pause. It's fine.
Cool,
it's fine. It's not.
All right.
It's
go ahead.
okay.
Okay.
Penguins fucking.
Are you sure that we don't need to pause?
We should I go check?
I really don't like this anymore.
Penguins fucking up. Batman arrests him just after he got out of jail, throws him back in jail. Penguin decides not to escape from jail and instead is going to go back into society as a highly revered man. I'm really trying to bring up the energy here.
Yes!
He's expecting a big welcoming home! And he comes home and there's nobody there but Batman and some rat poison! A penguin gets invited to the big party!
This is worse.
Oh, sorry. Which starts to be a scam and then ends up not quite being a scam, but then he flips out when he finds the truth that it was originally a scam. And then the penguin, just loses it, steals a girl, demands money, and tries to get people killed. Batman stops him, the end.
Oh, thank God.
Did you like that?
No.
Why?
Was it an emergency?
I mean, it was after I did that.
Yeah, all right.
Did you feel emergenced?
I felt the urgent.
Good. Episode 53. Pew pew. Whoops, we did this joke already.
So, we open up where we ended on the previous one. Robin's trying to find Batman, who apparently knows where Zuko is. Basically, the long and short is there's another flashback and normal time. In both of them, they're just trying to find Tony Zuko and apprehend him. The flashback, they don't succeed because Robin goes ahead and falls in a river like a college dick. Though, you know what? The second time, boy howdy, let me tell you, they got him. And Robin didn't choose revenge. Instead, he laid on his back, fired his gun into the air, and said, "Yar." 54. Adventures in Lava Land.
What movie is that from?
Is it Point Break?
Yeah, Point Break.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was like, wait, do I know? Yeah. Anyway.
By the use of Batman's money, they make a it just starts off there. By the use of Batman's money, they make a super helicopter, and it's all sorts of special. The army or whatever really wants it. Turns out Penguin and his henchmen steal the helicopter, and while they're stealing it, they make an explosion happen that blinds.
What the fuck are you saying?
And it blinds Bruce Wayne. You might,
They're blind.
who you might know, spoilers, is Batman. Bruce Bat is blind as a bat. Moving on. The doctor lady whose name I can't remember right now, Leslie Tompkins, makes him a bat visor that you can see out of temporarily. But wouldn't you know it, stuff goes wrong, and he can see for a bit, but then he can't see for a bit. And then there's a battle, and Batman wins, and the Penguin loses, and then Bruce Man's sight comes back. Episode 55. The Onigiri Touch.
All right. Basically, Batman / Bruce Wayne's old adversary decides to make a comeback because he wants a scroll that tells him how to kill people with a single touch. So he kidnaps Batman sensei's prize student or whatever in order to get this scroll that's been kept secret for a long time. It lures Bat Bruce all the way to Japan, I guess, where he picks up a bad Japanese accent for some reason for most of the show. Just when he's speaking to his sensei, he puts on a very stereotypical white dude doing a Japanese accent, which is weird. He battles his adversary way too close to a volcano. It blows up. Bat Bruce tries to help his adversary dude, whose name I just don't even care to know. Ken, Ninja Ken. Batman tries to help him and is like, hey, grab the rope. I'm gonna pull you away from this exploding volcano that we're right in the path of. It's just spewing lava everywhere, and they're like, it's gonna make this battle more epic. It's fine. But no. The guy, probably blows up. He's in the middle of a river of lava, an impassably large river of lava. He bows, conceding to being defeated by Bat Bruce. There's a huge explosion and smoke, and then suddenly the whole everything he was on is gone. I presume he's coming back. Fuck, I hope he's not. He's not. Episode 56. We all have to pee, man. A nice short one for you.
Oh, before this absolute schlunker. There's a shitty father, and he's got an invisible suit that he stole from a guy.
We're back. We've looped back around to doing the voices is good again.
He's using it to steal stuff and fight Batman. And wouldn't you know it, he's a deadbeat dad and he's trying to get custody or whatever of his daughter. By theft. Also, pearl necklace.
Just throwing that in there.
Basically, a guy has an invisible suit, goes on a crime spree, tries to steal daughter. Batman foils it. The daughter's name is Kimmy. There's a lot of Kimmy audio clips. Kimmy should have been here to watch this one.
Kimmy audio.
Kimmy audio. Episode 57. He lost his top in the green juice.
This is
Joe Scott.
Joe Scott.
You're reading
I'm reading
the
Joe's.
Yojo.
The Yojo. Robin gets taken hostage. Who did it? I don't know. Who's this creepy, really old guy that shows up? He's Ra's al Ghul. I'm gonna take you to India. Nah, we're going to Malaysia. Jump out in the Himalayas. Hey, you found Robin? Dunk me in some green juice. Ha 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 ha. Episode 58. Talia walking barefoot in the hot, hot snow. Also Joe. This is where Joe decided the first time I'm going to tell you in the shortest way possible. The second time I'm going to tell you in the longest way possible.
Okay, quick aside. Have you noticed how hot the bongos are in that mix?
Yes, they were cutting through everything.
Yeah, that's how, I was like, wait, what? What are the
it's
dogs
like the
doing?
bongos in that one episode recently. Like
Yeah.
an action scene. See, but we can count on Joe to never say fast forward, I think.
Yeah, we've been out of it for a while.
Yeah.
I could have another sip.
Yeah, all right.
For some of us, there was a recap.
That's where you had the previously and we didn't.
We come back to
See, I spelled it phonetically every time.
Raj?
With ZH is J.
Okay.
Yeah.
We come back to Raj.
To make sure
Is that
we
what we're
don't say-
going with?
Yeah.
Raish. We're going Raish. Holding his daughter up above his head. And he's about to toss her into the boiling Mountain Dew, the Baja Blast. So we're going close to a taco. Oh, I know. Fuck. Sorry, Joe. So we know we're close to a Taco Bell. That's true. Joe doesn't love us.
Joe doesn't love us.
There's a rope that comes around the Batman. Was that just a weird pause for you?
Joe doesn't love us.
There's a rope that comes around that Batman pulls his arms back, saves her, and he's like, oh, this is a formidable thing. Now will you marry my daughter and continue my legacy? After they find out that the juice is only good if you're unhealthy, but if a healthy person gets thrown in, then it makes you quite unhealthy. He says no. Batman says no, to be more specific. And then he's like, well, if you're not with me, then you're against me. And then he's like, I'm going to destroy this place and we're going to move into our desert oasis stronghold. So then he starts caving in the whole volcano area. But weird, Batman and Robin end up escaping and they make it to Wayne Enterprises, Nepal, where they start typing into a computer, searching about a word that Robin overheard when he was held captive called Orpheus, where Bruce had just typed in searching and apparently pulled all of this information from his head in the meantime. They find out that Orpheus is the satellite that he has hovering over. Oh, and that somehow takes him over to the Sahara Desert. So they fly again, with Robin flying this time. And
You're trying to like analyze the sentence structure of this shit.
I'm just trying to read it. And they're like, oh, wait, you can only jump out at altitudes, but it's okay. But then Batman jumps out anyway, and he lands in the warm sand. Then he comes across this convoy of people on camels, in which the camels' teeth are more well-animated than the humans'. He yanks a dude off the back camel, takes his wardrobe, gets on. Dude in front of him looks back and goes, yeah, that's my friend. And they keep riding. I'm going to try to do all these different like 90s kind of voices. This is the one that like would be like reading for like Mrs. Doubtfire or something.
Yeah. The trailer voice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but not like
not the trailer.
Not the trailer voice.
Yes, I see.
They get to where Raish is hiding and Ubu finds them, catches them, is like, I know that guy wasn't my friend, and then they fight a little bit. And Raish comes out and is like, oh, I should see who this formidable person is more closely. Jumps 3 stories down instead of taking the stairs, probably breaks his shins, and they're like, oh, it's Batman. I respect you. But take his belt and rip off his shirt. And that way he'll live for the rest of this episode. He explains this whole plan he has about the satellites that link to each other, and he's going to drop bombs in these Mountain Dew bowls all over the world, and he's going to set the world back into 8-bit. I think we wanted that to be a backup title.
Yeah.
Batman manages to escape again, despite being knocked into a missionary position by Ubu, and is going to get locked up again, except the daughter comes up and kisses him and puts a fish hook in his mouth. So breaks out him and Raish into a homoerotic sword. Get into a homoerotic sword fight, and eventually Batman throws a sword past Raish's head and stabs it into the satellite things, which makes the satellite from space collapse and not work anymore with 2 seconds remaining. Raish falls into a vat of Mountain Dew and Batman leaves. Batman walks into the desert to find Robin had landed the plane in the desert, just in the sand with the daughter. She has a name. Talia is like,
no one can remember Talia's name.
Now you know. I hold a lot of the standards and ideas that my father did, just the less shitty parts. And she's like, will you love me now? And then he is just, they kiss, and then he just leaves her in the middle of the desert and takes a sip from a flask. The end of the episode is Raish reaching out of the... I don't know how he climbed so high with nothing but bare cement walls to see his hand really awkwardly. Like if you were to put your hand on a platform pretending to the spider to pull himself out, and that's the end of the episode.
God.
Thank you, Joe, for that catastrophic depiction of the episode. Episode 59, Tasty Cheese Block.
I like it. There's some crimes going on. And Batman's like, hey, how's crimes going on? And then he like zooms in on a TV and says, tattoos. Oh, it's a rhino tattoo. These bad guys who are doing all the crimes gotta be a rhino dude. Batman follows the rhino and he's like, hey, you're doing a thing. He's like, I'm not doing a thing. And then he follows Rhino back to the base. The Bad Man Bad Operation base. And it's, oh God, look, it's a ventriloquist. He's got a puppet. And then he's like, I'm not a puppet, I'm a real man. And then Batman's like, oh God. And then later is like, I'm gonna go into the puppet room. And he goes in there and the puppet's just a puppet. It caught him off guard at first, but puppet's just a puppet. And then he goes to the butler guy and he's like, you're the ventriloquist. And he's like, no, it's not me. And then Batman leaves and gets set up and he goes to stop them from criming. And then Batman gets, like, tumbled over. He gets blocks dumped on him, and they capture him, and they're gonna dump him. But they got him tied up, and they're gonna drop him into a vat full of mannequins with pointy nails. Batman doesn't fall on the fingernails. Batman manages to turn the puppet against his ventriloquist master. Then some shit happens, and the puppet gets shot, and Batman wins.
Nice.
Episode 60, Techno Zeus running by Zorbas.
Oh my God, Jamie, this next one.
I got it.
Schizophrenia. So there's this guy running. He's running by Zorbas, and he's all like, oh no, and then he gets fired. Zeus is back, baby, but he's not actually back.
That does sound like a trailer quote. Zeus is back, baby,
I know, this is
but he's not actually back.
This is definitely the right one to be using this voice in.
Yeah.
But he's just a dude named Maxie. We get an idea. We get an idea that he was really into ancient Greece because, fucking hell, because we see in a picture that they're standing in front of like the Pantheon or whatever. Parthenon? Damn it, I'm sorry. Dude thinks he's Zeus. He snaps out of it for a quick moment when his girlfriend is like, Maxie, no. And then he's like, oh shit, wait a minute. No, I'm Zeus. He stole a weapon from the military, which is just a big ray gun. He's gonna go crazy and shoot shit. And then Batman says, nope, and stabs the ray gun with the Zeus guy. Max
This is how you said it. This is verbatim.
Stabs his ray gun with the Zeus guy, Maxie Zeus, with his unexplained lightning bolt shooter, which makes an interesting tink of a small metal object when he sets it on the ground. So Batman stabbed the big shooty ray gun with the lightning bolt. Zeus runs after it even though it's in the middle of some very electrified thing. He runs and jumps and grabs onto it. He gets super electrified and falls about 150 feet onto his head, onto concrete. Fast forward about 8 seconds.
Yeah. I've still got a good 1 sip left. You got 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I'm taking bigger sips.
Whoops.
Man up.
Oh, God. He's being wheeled through Arkham Asylum, and that's pretty much the end of that. He's in Arkham. Episode 61 coming up next. Where did he put that?
All right. This is the 2-parter.
Do you need help with this?
So at some point it does break into I take over and start saying it. So maybe because I'm reading the first Brian part, I can have the Brian and you can have the James.
Great.
Is that right? Okay. So here we go. This is Brian. Where did he put that? Commissioner Gordon and his new buddy, whose name I've just forgotten, Jim Rivers. They're doing really good.
How often am I forgetting names? Every fucking name.
They're doing really good. They're busting a bunch of people. Rupert Thorne has come back, and he's doing all bad things, and oh no! But he's gonna get caught, and also Two-Face has come back, and oh no, he's doing bad stuff. And it turns out Mason. He's a bad guy posing as a good guy. He's a really bad guy. And Commissioner Gordon gets arrested by being framed by taking money from Rupert Thorne. Turns out Commissioner Gordon ends up in the slammer, and all the cops are like, but we're gonna throw a pizza party and get him out, and the whole city's gonna be there. Barbara's like, we need Batman there, and Batman's like, I'm not gonna be there. And Barbara's like, well, Batgirl's gonna be there. I'm gonna dress up as a fake Batman, and then everyone's gonna immediately find out that Batgirl's a thing and Robin's useless. So there's a whole gathering happening outside of City Hall or the police department or wherever, and there's a car coming in. Gil Mason ducks, and then these machine gunners start shooting, and then everyone else ducks, and this is caught on camera, which is good because I'm fast forwarding. Oh, it's such a silent. Fill me up, honey.
Oh, God.
Where the fuck was it? Because I'm fast forwarding because Robin's like, wait a minute. Gil Mason ducked before the guns came out. Whoop, whoop. He must be a bad guy. So Batman is now Matches Matthews and says, Two-Face, I need a job. And Two-Face is like, that's a good point. But I'm going to flip this coin. Uh-oh, you gotta die. And so a bad guy cocks the shotgun, and then Batman Bruce Man turns around and he gets hit in the head instead of shot. We don't know why. Batgirl's like, well, if Batman's not going to do it, then Batgirl, I'm Batgirl now, to be continued. You can start at B. Oh, no, sorry. The last sentence, a couple sentences of you. So this is part 2 now. Then the second one opens up and there's a recap. Okay, it starts out and Commissioner Gordon gets framed and arrested, and then he goes into jail. I think that was a request from Kimmy, but I'm going to stop there. To recap the recap.
Then the liquid pizza. They break. Oh, hold up.
What?
Whatever.
What are you doing?
I'm just gonna
do it.
I changed my position in my seat.
We're leaving all of this in. It's a 100% unedited podcast.
Yeah, except for that one bit where we switched the phone and the computer.
Yeah, whatever. That never happened.
Then the liquid pizza. They break him out of the jail and they get him to the subway. The bad guys take Commissioner Gordon to the docks, but Robin and Batman meet up in the subway station to save Batman and get Gil Mason. Then Batman is like, I'm gonna be naked now, do you mind? And then she keeps looking for a second and goes, whoops. And then her cheeks get all red and Batman gets naked. The water comes in and they hide in the water comes in and they hide in hide in what they thought was a bus, but it's a train. It's a train with a bus door. Batman pulls the lever crunk. It was the right lever because it somehow follows the tracks onto the wall and bursts out the wall on the other side on the outside. And then Batman is like, oh, we're out of grappling hooks. I need to use I used all 5 of mine previously in this episode. And then they rip off the bus door handle and climb up the wall. And then they go fight at the dock and they beat him. Brian.
I'll finish it off here. Oh, but don't you dare forget that Gil Sunshine is taken off on a boat and Batman and Robin are nowhere to be found. And so Batgirl's like, well, what do you know about this shit? So Batgirl's like, I would like water skiing. And as Gilly Boy Thompson is taken off on the boat, she grabs a rope, which is just trailing behind the boat. And then they have a boat fight and Barbara Girl beat up Gil Gilmanton. And then she jetpacks out of the boat with Gil just before it explodes. You can get I Am Clayface Hollywood reference.
So, Clayface comes back. He's trying to find a solution. Can I fast forward through this one?
They're coming up way too often now. You keep going.
Clayface comes back. He's trying to look for a solution because he's having a hard time holding himself together. Jesus, Jamie.
You poured me that amount?
Yeah, I guess I did.
That's so much whiskey. How could you possibly do this?
Where was I?
Who knows?
He finds it. The solution is
What
at
episode
Wayne
number
Enterprises. 62.
Okay, good.
I'm
so sorry.
He steals it.
Was that an emergency?
Yeah. No, it's not an emergency.
Oh, okay, cool.
He steals it. This doctor that he's been working with is like, yeah, buddy, we just need this thing and we're going to make you better. And then, God damn it, the doctor and him are like, yeah, cool. I can feel it working. I'm about to become myself. And then Batman says, no. And then, stops his recovery process. Even though at the beginning of the episode, he was like, hey, I can help you be human again. Let me help you. And then he's like, no. Batman fights Clayface in the rain. Clayface starts becoming very oozy, and then they're fighting on a cliff, and Clayface ends up in the water and dies. I'm so disappointed.
That's how it ends.
Episode 63. Batman got bald in the back.
Ooh. Did he really? That's cool.
Yeah, baby.
There's a trust fund chick who comes back from South America, and she's got a whole bunch of dolls for people, which are gonna make them sleep well if the dolls are put under their pillows. And so they do that, and people mysteriously start giving up all their money. They're just like, hey, there's money? I'm gonna leave it on the ledge of this building. I'm gonna throw these jewels out the back of a boat. It's gonna be great. And then they do that, and they're like, wait, what happened? Where'd all my money go? I don't get it. There's a vaguely Aztec guy stalking around the top of a building, and Bruce Wayne sees it and goes, uh-oh, I got a Batman real quick, bye. And then Batman goes and fights a South American guy on the top of a building, and some people almost get hurt, and then they don't. And then there's a ball, and Batman grabs it, and he's like, I don't get it. Batman got bald in the back. Not bald, but bald. It's pronounced bald the second time. I guess people gave away their money, and so Batman makes the discovery that there's, brain-disrupting RF transmitters in these tiny little doll men that are under people's pillows that are making them do stuff. And then Batman goes to find out that it's all done from the Mad Hatter. Whoa, Jarvis. No, Jarvis touchin'. He's Australian. There's a fight, and Batman wins, and then Bruce Wayne pays for the South American guy's flight back home to Aztec land.
Wow.
Episode... What?
I was just thinking, it's kind of annoying. Of course, this is stuff that I more than likely haven't heard since I said it however many years ago.
Yeah.
and it's like making me laugh. And then I keep remembering like, oh, dude, you said this is like laughing at your own jokes.
No,
but it's funny to me because it's my humor.
It's the way that I'm reading it too, like it's or the we're reading it, like a real sentence. Okay, you get episode 64, Big Hot P.
Oh, fuck yeah. How am I what voice do I do in this one?
I don't know. I like these trailer voices we're doing. It's good stuff. It's making it more entertaining for the listener.
Rupert Thorne.
Oh, no.
The baddie, his brother, Matt, he lost his doctoring license because he was helping his brother in nefarious ways because his brother was being a dick. He took a bullet out of his brother, I think, and he lost his medical license as a result and spent the rest of his doctoring career in infamy in the shadows.
It's like a Crank Yankers character.
Yeah. Wow, that's a throwback.
Thank you.
So he gets into a spat with his brother. Rupert Third basically has a pseudo heart attack and turns out there's a tumor in his like heart or whatever. And then he's like, brother, you have to operate on me. And then he's like, nah, I need help, but no one would help me. I've called the dogs.
Yeah, the dogs are all here like, what is happening? Are you okay?
But then there's like, well, maybe except for this person that we really care about. Oh, left out the beginning of this episode where Batman runs fast as a car on the bridge after some guys who stole a medical laser, which becomes Batman's arch nemesis over the course of the episode. Anyway, Matt and Leslie operate on the brother, and then the bad guys are like, well, it's time to kill Leslie, because that's what the boss said. And then Batman comes in to help foil, and everyone gets away. And at the end of the episode, we get Batman / Bruce Wayne's origin story, except we don't get to hear it. We just see it being told out like an awful tease. Hi, Rose.
Yop. Got Who in Whoville over here, you know what I'm saying?
Episode 65. This is yours. Joker used to be Homer Simpson.
Oh, this is a Phantasm.
Oh, is it? Is that what that one is?
Yeah.
There's a mysterious bad guy who's actively killing mobsters.
Wait. Listener, do you know he can do a great Mickey
All
Mouse
the police
impression?
are like, yo, it's Batman killing people. He's gone rogue. And so the people are on the manhunt for the bat. There's a bat hunt.
I'm having trouble with it right now. My throat is too drunk.
Also, this is like almost the definitive Batman's origin story. It's the transition into Batman from dude with ski mask, Batman with a hammer, Hammerman. We're this close to Hammerman. So Bruce's origin story, love story. And so basically we get the story of somebody knocking...
No, I can't do it right now.
somebody knocking off all these mobsters, and Batman is also trying to figure out what's going on. What will happen in the end? Meanwhile, Pretty Lady comes back to town, who Bruce knew and proposed to. Of all the bad guys, Joker is the last one, like he's a kingpin or whatever. So then there's a big fight, Joker fight, in the world of the future or whatever it is, and Andrea comes back, and Batman's like, you gotta leave because you're killing people, and that makes me sad.
Rosie's here to check on you.
And then they both kind of end up teaming up on the Joker-ish after a big Batman-Joker fight, and Batman's like, you gotta get out of here. This whole place is gonna blow. And she's like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna hold the Joker in place, so when this whole place explodes, we're all gonna die. The whole place explodes. The only one we didn't get any confirmation of was the Joker, so no one really possibly died, because the Joker probably doesn't die. Bat signal, Backstreet Boys, the end. Wow.
You get
was
episode
amazing.
66, The Sloth Took My Dick. Listener, I promise I'd do a better Mickey Mouse version than that.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, whatever.
I do a Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget, except I couldn't do a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's, what is it? Oh, good.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good.
To start us off, there's an evil sloth who's breaking into a building, and some people are getting poisoned. Some rich bachelors are getting bacheled. The hospital's keeping these people alive, and they keep getting sloth poisoned, but they're like, we don't know what it is. And Batman's like, it's poison ivy, and they're like, no, she's good. Let's look. And then Gordon and Batman go to Poison Ivy's house, and she's like, I'm good, look. And they're like, wow, that's amazing. She's good, but I don't believe you. You're married and you got kids that aren't your own kids. They're like your kids. We're going to find out later. Poison Ivy's...
character is this?
I don't know.
Brian.
Poison Ivy's married into a family. Whatever. Everything is peachy keen. Machine. Doesn't say that, but I did. Can't figure out what's going on. Robin ends up getting sloth napped. Luckily, he didn't scratch me. I was only fisted. This is what Robin said. So there's going to be an exchange and the Batman's going to give the sloth money. He's going to get dick back. And then the sloth's like, no way, there's no dick for you. And then he beats up Batman, who's wearing a claw-proof vest, falls himself into the water, and then he's like, aha, I've got my bat jet ski under the dock here. The sloth's gonna throw Robin Dick into the ocean thing, and he's not gonna be okay because he's all tied up. And then and then here comes Batman, and he's just like jetting on his ski up and out of the water. How do I wrap this up in like one sentence?
They go back to Poison Ivy's house and there's a secret basement, and they go in the secret basement and there's a tub full of guy.
They go back to her house, there's a bunch of bad guys, and they get killed by herbicide that Batman made happen, and then turns out Poison Ivy got away.
All right, nice.
Episode 67, Canyons All the Way Down.
Yeah.
Is this,
It's a sideshow.
Sideshow, yeah. Man, I like want to watch the beginning of that episode again. It's cool.
Killer Croc is on a train. He's been imprisoned and is going someplace upstate. He busts out of his containment. Luckily, Batman is undercover on the train, doing the full Superman Clark Kent pulling his suit open. The bat suit is revealed, or whatever, the bat onesie. There's a rooftop train fight between Killer Croc and Batman. Batman and Killer Croc go descending off of the train and down into one of the 40 levels of canyons just outside of Gotham City. It's canyons all the way down. I wonder if there's some kind of metaphor of, like, descending like the levels of hell. And then there is the
What is the squeaky on this music?
I think it's bird sounds. I've noticed that a few times too. I don't know.
Huh.
Premiumsqueak.com. And then there's the most intriguing, super slow-paced chase scene. Various things happen, like Croc got tranked on the train, and so he's kind of struggling a bit, and Batman gets knocked out, and then Killer Croc throws a big rock at him, but doesn't hit him. Batman's knocked out cold, and he misses. So Killer Croc gets a head start, but then he's having a hard time making his path and getting over all these obstacles. And Batman wakes up, and he's like, time to pursue. But it's all, like, at walking pace. Some other shit happens, there's some obstacles, and Killer Croc ends up trying to jump across a waterfall and slipping like Whoopsie style. He's going down this river, and he's saved by a seal boy, a sideshow attraction. The seal boy rescues Killer Croc and brings him to this mill, where there's a collection of 4 sideshow peoples, somehow still wearing their, like, we retired from the circus, but now we dress exactly like it. You've got the ringleader, who's a hunchback. You've got a couple of conjoined twins named after months of the year. You've got Seal Boy, and you've got Goliath, who's bigger than Killer Croc. He's just a really big guy. They kind of start to integrate and adopt Killer Croc, but Killer Croc's having a time and deciding he wants to steal what money they have left. And then Batman shows up, and he just causes all sorts of chaos, let me tell you. It's kind of everybody versus Batman at the beginning, and then Killer Croc's like, I'm gonna kill that guy. And they're like, no, don't do it. And Killer Croc's like, well, I guess I want to kill you too, or whatever. Then there's a big fight, and lo and behold, Batman wins. Killer Croc ends up being Hannibal Lectered and helicoptered away. You get episode 68. Rube Goldberg Was from Mars, which is another Joe Scott synopsis.
Oh my God. Should I do my best Joe impression?
Oh, of course.
No. It begins in
know what it is.
1898. I'm going to assume it was Egypt because Joe has a like unique voice. Like that'd be a hard one to.
Yeah, it's not impressionable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do that, Joe?
How do you, Joe?
Joe.
How do you just be?
How do you
Joe
be?
who's listening to this?
He's not listening
He's
to
not
this.
listening.
It begins in 1898. I'm going to assume it was Egypt because it was all pyramids and things like that in Aladdinville. There's this tomb. People searching for something in there. Quick cut to Batman flying to Gibraltar, basically to see. Quick cut, is that?
The cut's the same speed no matter what, Joe.
Well, I mean, like, is that a like us? Quick cut, fast forward. No.
Oh no, I don't think
Okay.
so. No.
Quick cut to Batman flying to
Fast
Gibraltar,
forward synonyms do not count.
basically to see Talia. I've been up for like 27 hours, basically. So give me a second here. I gotta say this more
Part of the
tired.
synopsis.
Yeah, there was this whole Batman finds Ra's al Ghul while while there's this scroll being stolen by Ubu. He catches Ubu, pulls the mask off. It's Ubu. Then Ra's al Ghul comes into the doorway, throws a snake at him out of his snake utility belt. It bit Batman in the wrist cuff. His suit is not protective against cobras. He started to die. Ra's left, but of course he has Batman anti-cobra venom in his utility belt. Saves himself, goes back to the Batcave, is questioned by Alfred whether or not it was Ra's al Ghul. And then, and he said that he was very certain that it was. And then he went into his elevator and said Gibraltar, and then left and flew across the country, landed in Gibraltar, and he was walking as Bruce Wayne down this foresty kind of pathway. Gets attacked by two guys, beats them up, and Talia's there. So, see, I really didn't skip that much. He's like, oh, your dad's doing shit again. And then they fly to what I assume is Egypt, go into the tomb, originally from the first scene. And then she's like, how did you know to be here? And then he said, I'm Batman. Or that's what he should have said. When he went looking through the scroll thingy, I guess, this guy tried to sell them this figurine. Oh, Joe, why you do this to me?
It's very long.
That said he was only one of, but they saw there were more.
You don't have to read this tired.
I'm just tired.
Yeah.
They're quick to find that stuff. They're always looking for a good bargain. They're not looking to get screwed over by some pawn shop people. Doesn't matter where they are. Go into the back of this place, find this little tomb that Batman just somehow knows the secret way to open.
See, listener, you don't have to watch Batman the Animated Series. You can just listen to us describe it too. Yeah.
The salesman and his friend show up, say my favorite line in the whole thing, which is, this section's closed to customers, which is so perfectly cheesy. It's the most appropriate line that could possibly be there. They obviously beat up bad guys, go into the tomb, Ra's and Ubu show back up. They uncover this tomb that's there that Ra's knows about. That is this old Egyptian goddess of some sort that is supposed to be like all-knowing and all-powerful of all knowledgeable. You know, things like that. Go in and there's this boiling pit of Mountain Dew again. They added some cornstarch to it or something. Out of the center comes this Cleopatra-y looking goddess person who says, I'm this person from the tomb. And he's like, ooh, tell me everything. And they kiss and he gets the life sucked out of him from like the Green Mile. Then he's tossed away. Batman and Talia come in, and they're like, "Whoa, this is not good." And Cleopatra lady turns real bad, and then she looks like the lady from Emperor's New Groove, Yzma. She starts throwing green hentai tentacles at everything and trying to catch Batman, and catches Talia. And Batman jumps after her, picks up a sword in the ground, slashes off the hentai tentacle. They try to.
Joe's got beat for beats and Yapses. Shot for shot.
Yeah, he does. They try to run out and everything. They pick up Ra's on the way. Batman pushes this enormous tombstone thing over by himself, probably breaking his tailbone in the process. And I like there's always some like bit of like medical knowledge in there too.
Yeah.
At the very least, he's got a hernia. They close the tomb and collapse it all. They all come out. It cuts to them. Ra's and all of his henchmen and Ubu or whatnot, tied to horses walking through the desert. Talia turns on him, points a gun at Batman and says, like, I can't let you take them. He is my father. Batman hops off the horse. Talia cuts them loose. And at the last little bit, you see Ubu turn around and throw a canteen at Batman as he's left in the desert. And they walk in another direction. It's got to be full of pee. And Batman decides not to follow them and walk off in a different direction. That's the end.
Ooh, boy, Joe.
Episode 69.
Yeah. You're just pressing whatever button.
I just press the button. Pigmeat Markham's Careless Whisper.
All right. Do you want it? Do you want this one because it's short? Because the next one is long. I don't know.
Wait, what? How long is the next one?
Just take a peek.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
So JVD, which it said on her glasses case, basically she is on a rampage to get Batman dethroned. They're tired of vigilantism. Why would I say a word like that? And she's just like, he's the worst. Batman sucks and we need to get rid of him. He's a nuisance. And then they end up in Arkham because she's been abducted by everybody in Arkham. And all the baddies, thanks to Mad Hatter, have taken over control of Arkham. And then they get Batman to show up and they put him in a trial in a straitjacket. I know they didn't really get him to show up. They capture him. So all the baddies put Batman on trial and they actually find him not guilty. But alas, they decide they're going to destroy him anyway. Surprise, surprise. Batman and JVD get away. And all the baddies, thanks to Gordon, get away. And all the baddies, thanks to Gordon knowing how to fix small electronic devices, gets rescued by the Gotham police force. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Episode 70. We're getting so close, listeners.
Yes.
Stick with us, please.
Yes.
Fake hand, fake wrist. Oh, fake.
You got it.
Fake hand, fist, fake.
You got it.
Oh, God.
Slow. Take it slow.
Fake hand, fist, wrist.
There you go. Fake hand fist wrist.
Can I have a drink?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Jamie, 70.
A 70. Oh, ooh. Brian's age. Okay. So this is split into two.
Oh, we haven't been drinking it straight for a while, have we?
No. This has been split into two halves, just so you know.
Okay.
I'll read both, but front
Wait,
half.
how's it split into two halves?
So
What?
this was the one that Keen and Dylan redid. So there's your synopsis and there's Keen's redone synopsis.
Oh, okay.
Here's yours to start. Well, there's some bad guys and they have a literal A-bomb. They have a bomb. They have a A-bomb. We're gonna English our way through this. It's gonna be fine. They've got an A-bomb and Joker wants it real bad. And guess what? He outbids everybody by not bidding at all and just stealing the A-bomb. So Joker steals a bomb capable of destroying the entire 10 million population of Gotham. So basically, Joker's gonna blow up the place with an A-bomb, and so Batman's like, we need Harley Quinn, because I obviously can't find out where Joker is by myself. And then she says, well, yeah. And they said some other stuff. And then some other stuff happened. It was a lot of Harley Quinn actually being pretty frickin' funny, and Robin not. Basically, everybody has to work together to stop Joker from blowing up all of Gotham, and wouldn't you know it, the plan works, even though Harley does, in the end, double-cross Batman. And she's got a musical number. Batman steals a bomb, and it's up to Batman to stop him. Did I say Batman? This is redo by Keen Machine as Brian. Alright, well, in Harlequinade here, we start off at an auction at night. The Joker is there, but people don't know he's there yet, and they start bidding with a bunch of criminals for a bomb. An atomic bomb, not to be confused with a nuclear bomb. And the Joker steals the bomb from the auction and, oh gosh, how can I stretch out the synopsis as long as possible?
No, Keen,
Batman
no.
doesn't know where to find the Joker, and so he does the only sensible thing that a superhero would do. He teams up with his enemy's greatest ally to help find the Joker. So he teams up with Harley Quinn, he gets her out of Arkham, promises that she can go free as long as she doesn't double-cross him, and they go on this hunt for the Joker. It's this wild, crazy ride of bad cop, dumb cop, I guess, although Harley does really good at proving her value in this episode, I must say. And then Robin is there. I'm really, really glad that they brought Robin back for this episode. I just love Robin's character. I always appreciate his dialogue. Then they eventually find the Joker. He threatens to blow up the city, and they stop him. Harley Quinn betrays Batman, and then unbetrays Batman when the Joker reveals that he's not going to save their friends in Arkham and her pet hyenas. At the end, they make up, and Harley and the Joker are back in love on what I guess you could call good terms, twistedly good terms, and the episode ends. I'm always happy to stretch out that synopsis as long as possible. Oh, we're finding this out. Brian, this one, next one, Residual Wetness, is also split up between the two of us, so you can decide how you would like to read this, I suppose. It kind of goes Brian, James Brian, I think.
Oh, does it? Residual wetness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll read me, you read you.
Yeah, of course. Brup.
We should get Keen back on the podcast.
We should get Keen back on the podcast. You hear that, Keen?
Did you make it this far, Keen?
Did you make? Yeah, you didn't make it.
Send it. We're gonna. This is a test of true listenership.
Yeah, if you're the real Dylan Pollock, you've made it so far.
If you're the real Keen and you've made
The
it
real
this far,
Dylan Pollock, please stand up.
if the real Keen has made it this far, oh, this is so cruel, right?
Comment.
Send us an episode in our little secret chat and just say I am the real Keen.
An episode? Send us an episode.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Send us a
You're gonna
note.
fall over. You're lying like backwards on a stool.
Oh man, I'm doing great.
Brian got in a more comfortable question mark position.
You know I can't sit
All right.
still.
Anyway. Residual wetness.
That's a problem I'm having right now. Rupert Murdoch hires Carmen Sandiego to hire Mucho Luchador or something. Michael Jackson Diego. Carmen Sandy Jackson. Michael Sandy Jackson. Hires Bane. This homeboy's big. This homeboy, big boy Bane is gonna come and he's going to mess up Batman's day and Robin's day. He's gonna take Robin's shirt off. He's gonna do some BDSM stuff with Robin. Killer Croc gets out. He's gonna mess stuff up, and then Bane's like, "Not on my watch. He's mine." And then Killer Croc is like, "No, he's mine." And then Killer Croc get his butt beat up and his limbs broken. He should have thrown a rock at him. Killer Croc ends up in the hospital. Bane's doing a good Batman stalking thing. He steals Robin.
Then I took over for some reason. Bane threw him into a bunch of crates, and then one of the crates was marked with some word I couldn't read fast enough. And then it looked like a small UFO, tiny baby UFO. And then Batman picked it up, and he turned toward camera and shot a big hook out. And it was enough force to push Bane off the boat into the water with just that. And then Robin said, "Hey, sweetie pie, come in here." She took her shoes off, got on Wiki feet, and they fought in the water. Bane was gonna break Batman.
They got on Wiki feet. Is Wiki feet a thing, Jamie?
It is a thing, yeah.
Why do you know that?
I don't know it in a way if I've been there. Why don't you know it?
Because I'm 70?
I look at memes.
Oh,
Sick.
feet. He was gonna break.
I'm not a feet guy, but I don't blame those who are. I suppose Keen. If you've gotten this far, send us pictures of your feet.
I'm not a feet guy either. I don't know. I guess I get it in the way that, like, if a kink is for you, like a kink is for you. Mm-hmm. Something in your head is like, "Whoa, man, put that foot in my mouth," or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, whatever.
Sure.
I get it. That's cool.
Residual wetness continues.
He was gonna break Batman over his leg or foot, and then Batman said, I'm gonna poke your wristwatch. It makes your brain go woo. and then it got horror for a minute. Batman over adrenalines or whatever. Bane. Yeah. And then he like basically almost dies, and then Batman pulls the plug and he doesn't die, and then he drops him at Rupert Murdoch's office and says, "Carmen Jackson-Nego is not who you think he is."
You almost said that the way you said it in the Carmen Jackson-Nego is not who you think he is.
We need to like drunk the Carmen Jackson-Nego is not who he thinks he is.
It's my turn. What's the next song?
Episode 72. Woo. How thick is your quarter?
Tomorrow afternoon on Fox.
Some parent just sitting there watching their kids watch TV going, "Oh my God.
How thick is your quarter?" Two-Face is being wheeled into a hospital. He's going to get some surgery that's going to Harveyify him and remove his two-face-oscitativeness. And then some baddies bust in and steal him. And they get away despite Batman and Robin trying to save them because they get absolutely creamed by a 10,000-pound ceiling fixture.
Hey, this was on our TikTok, yeah.
So Harvey gets stolen by two sets of bad guys who go off in two different directions, foreshadowing ahead. They think that it's either Rupert Murdoch, do you think people are tired of me saying that, or the Penguin, because of the locations of the baddies went towards. Leaving out some chase scene stuff, and it turns out it's neither of those guys. Batman gets pigeoned pretty hard. Robin has a narrow escape from being tossed off the Gotham Gate Bridge, gateway to 10 million people, and then Batman was like, "Oh, no, I know who it is," and he leans into a callback from earlier in the episode of the buddies being buddies, and Two-Face has, lo and behold, Two-Face has kidnapped himself. There's a fight. Batman at some point snatched Two-Face's coin. Batman switched Harvey's coin to a trick coin that only lands on its end. And then Batman was all, "Hey, don't. Oh, the coin went rolling off the building. Basically, he's hanging off a building and some other shit happens and Batman saves him. He decides to drop his fake coin in order to get his second chance at life rather than dying."
Wow.
Episode 73, Riddler's Suspicious Balls, synoped by Dan Reba.
Oh,
Director
Dan.
of the episode.
Dan, what have you done? Oh, Dan, what have you done?
It's so long. Oh, Dan, it's so long.
So it begins. They're on a loading dock of the convention center thing, and some guys who appear to be thugs, or the Riddler comes out with a box that looks very suspicious. Hello, Maxwell. What are you... Do you need to go outside? Is that what you're asking me right now?
Do we need to pause? Is it an emergency?
Here, you start reading. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. I'll read loudly so you can hear it, okay? So it begins!
Oh my God.
They're on a loading dock of the convention center thing, and some guys who appear to be thugs, or the Riddler comes out with a box that looks very suspicious. Batman shows up to thwart his plan. Clearly, it's a bomb. And then all of a sudden, Baxter shows up, the owner of Wacko Toys, who looks a little like the Monopoly guy. And it turns out it's all legit and Batman was wrong. The Riddler says something really confusing, cryptic, and so there's a breaking news that the ancient history that the Riddler was talking about in his little weird cryptic comment turns out to be a break-in of some Ming vases at the Newman Imports. You're right there. Newman Imports.
Then the ad shows up, and there's a code number that Bruce Wayne writes down immediately. Figures out that it's a map coordinate. They figure out that they have to go to the First National Bank. End of Act 1. Act 2 begins. The rooftop bank that Batman and Robin are on a stakeout, and then they realize they're on the wrong place because the map has been flipped over. The numbers are upside down, so we realize it says 10 Leslie. That's an address. They go to that place. I don't know.
Just like Dan Reba.
Yeah, I know. That's how Dan sounds. Yeah. I don't know how they know which floor to go, but turns out it's a jewelry heist. And they thwart the heist. Somehow the thugs manage to knock over his shelf onto Robin, breaking his leg or maiming him horribly, painfully. Yeah. And then Batman goes after the guys. They conveniently get on a window washer scaffolding deal, and they escape on that because that's how they broke in, clearly. Then there's this odd drama thing of this. Then there's this odd drama of this thing going down, and they break in trying to evade Batman. They stop it. It falls. Batman has nothing to do with saving them or capturing them. Really, they do it all themselves. They knock themselves out, and when they get away, it's wet. He has to go back and tend to Robin's wounds. So then you cut to the next act, where we begin with a commercial. With the commercial.
You skipped a page.
Oh, I skipped a page. I just wanted to
no cheating. I'm Captain.
Commercial being shot and brilliant. Being shot by a brilliant and handsome director. That would be Dan Reba.
Dan Reba.
Riddler's awfully rude to a child. Go back to where it all began. He says at the end of the commercial. Batman figures out that it means that it's the Toy Fair convention thing where they almost nabbed him the first time. He goes there, looks around, finds a giant Jack-in-the-Box deal, cranks it. Why would he do that? And then opens it up, and there's a screen, and Riddler's telling him all sorts of stuff. And hey, look up, he didn't notice the massive dynamite, and he only gets 10 seconds to die. So the place blows up, and Riddler's all happy, and I forgot the part of the party. The sexy ladies all over. That was a big important part, because that reveals the little balls that are suspicious. But they turned out they're radio balls, so Batman is humiliated in front of his party there, but the two-way radios are revealed, and so then later when Batman is presumed dead and exploded, and then shows up at the Riddler has destroyed his Riddler garb because Batman's dead. There's no point in having a Riddler anymore.
Dan.com.
Then he confesses accidentally, and Batman conveniently has the same toy, and they put him away, and he goes crazy because he doesn't know how Batman escaped, and then we ruin the episode by telling everybody how he escaped.
Whoo! Yeah, Dan Reba.
I gotta pee.
Yeah, me too. Let's pause this.
Jamie's gone. They finally stopped me at Dover as I was trying to get back into the country. I was half expecting it, but it came as kind of a shock when the barrier stayed down. It's funny how some things can be so mixed up like that. Having come this far, I'd started to think that I might make it the whole way home after all. It would be nice to, see, I can't do audiobooks. It'd be nice to have been able to explain things to my mother, before anybody else had to get involved. It was 1 a.m. and it was raining. I rolled Mr. Peterson's car up to the booth in the Nothing to Declare lane, where a single customs officer was on duty. His weight rested on his elbows. His chin was cupped in his hands, and but for this crude arrangement of scaffolding, his body looked ready to fall like a sack of potatoes on the floor. The graveyard shift, dreary, dull from dusk till dawn, and for a few heartbeats, it seemed that the customs officer lacked the willpower necessary to rotate his eyeballs and check my credentials. But then the moment collapsed. His gaze shifted. His eyes widened. He signaled for me to wait and spoke into his walkie-talkie, rapidly and with obvious agitation. That was the instant I knew for sure. I found out later that my picture had been circulated in every major port from Aberdeen to Plymouth. With that and the TV appeals, I never stood a chance. So that's the first, roughly page of my favorite book, The Universe versus Alex Woods, and I hope that's enough to convince you to read it. It might not be, but it's a really good book. I don't need to be making this podcast longer, but like James is away and I just have to take any opportunity to, throw a wrench into the works, for the lulz, for the fans, do you have dogs? Anybody have dogs out there? Dogs are just, they're great. Cats are great too. I don't really get birds so much. Fish, I feel kind of bad about too. But, he's back.
Brian's a real rat bastard. Oh, he's sitting right here in front of me. Shit, he heard.
Ah ha 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 ha.
Kimmy's not coming to read with us, but she's going to watch the DCAU video after we're done.
Okay.
With us.
Okay. Is she doing okay?
She's doing okay. She's just very tired.
She doesn't want any whiskey?
She doesn't want any whiskey. She doesn't want any fucking part of this.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
Jamie.
She didn't even understand what I said when I said we were reading the synopses. She gave me a look of like, what the fuck? That's not a word. And I was like, but you listen to every single episode. You should know. You would know.
She probably worked like 10 hours today.
She worked like 17 hours today. Kimmy, listening to this, if you listen this far, send us pictures of your feet. Watch that become some new running gag. And everyone nobody listened this far, so they won't understand. Anyway.
Episode 74.
Okay.
Look it.
We got this. Oh, shit, that's Brian's foot. I can see it.
I got a full spread on for you.
Your toenails aren't as bad as your fingernails because Brian keeps slicing his hands up all the time. Anyway.
Thank you.
I know.
Episode 74. Let's go punch this old lady in the baby's face.
Whoa. Oh, it's me.
Yeah, isn't it? Did I miss?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, you did it. The show opens up. And
this video has 3.5 million views.
It's because everyone's doing a synopsis with this in the background.
Okay.
The show opens up, and there's a fucking creepy girl who's really good at fake crying, and she makes a dude have a bad time with stuff.
It's kind of ironic that you're reading it in this voice, and you'll find out later why that is.
And then...
Don't worry about it.
Oh. And then Batman and Robin are like, oh, all these people keep going kapoof. Batman, Robin, we gotta go do this. I think that's Bullock talking or whatever. And then they're like, ah, shit. The people are disappearing. We gotta figure out who the why. Oh, it's the baby doll. Let's go punch this old lady in a baby's face. So then they went, and everybody was all wrapped up in ropes. And Robin was a fat kid, and he picked up the dynamite with his teeth and threw it behind him. And then Batman chased a baby to a carnival, and he didn't kick her in the face, even when he had the perfect opportunity to. The end. Episode 75, The Clocking to Eclectic Cuckoo.
I think I'm going to do this like a beat poem reading.
Okay, good. We had to put some no, this is jazzy enough. This is fine.
Yeah, okay. This is
the next
fucking
track's about
stopped.
to start, yeah.
I know. I gotta wait now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is really slow. This is like a different kind of...
Just do it, man.
Yeah.
We're all here. We're ready for it.
Okay, man. Thank you, everyone, tuning into Late Night Radio.
Casey Baby Doo. We're here doing the synopses. This is a callback to like episode 3 or something when we made a joke about how we're going to talk like this.
That would have been
all
funnier.
All the callbacks are in this.
That would have been funnier if, since we're doing such a low talky voice thing, that if I just adjusted my microphone without adjusting the volume. So in the middle of us whispering, you just hear a good amount of...
That would be so funny.
noises.
It also doesn't matter because somehow this records everything even when you turn it down.
Oh, fuck.
So when I everything is fine.
Anyway.
What's happening? What's in this
well,
episode?
we got episode 75, clocking to eclectic
cuckoo. Yes.
Technically says cuck in there, but we're going to ignore that.
It does? What?
So...
Cuckoo.
So the Clock King is found. People are going to fall asleep.
Yeah, they are. I was just thinking that too. Oh, the Clock King!
The Clock King has found himself in a really fortuitous situation where he's like a butler for a time guy. He's Time Daddy Alfred.
Time Daddy's Alfred.
Daddy's Alfred. How do you remember?
'Cause
Anyway,
why would he be Time
it's
Daddy?
good because Time Daddy made a time device that Clock Kings got a real bone for. And he's using it to do all sorts of malicious things like not help old ladies tripping down the stairs. He's gonna blow up Mayor Hill, who, by the way, can also bend time. James.
See, if I could snap, I'd do the snaps for you.
Yeah. The Bats and the Robins got to find ways to stop the Clock King from doing things. And despite who talks like this?
I was just gonna ask you,
I don't know.
Even is this?
I'm just it's like an angry oh my god, what's his name? Mitch Hedberg.
Sure.
Do you know Mitch Hedberg?
No.
This is angry Mitch Hedberg.
Okay.
Have to do things, and despite them getting caught in time because the Clock King booby traps the time mobile. To wrap up, Batman and Robin gotta save the day, and don't ya know it, they visit Time Daddy and they get time devices. Batman and Robin speeding on bikes. Everything is not quite as blue. What? And there's still a plane and a bird flying through the air. The clouds are moving. Let's just jump to the world is frozen. Cars aren't moving. And here's Mayor Hill swinging a hammer. He must have been swinging the hammer 1,000 miles an hour. Batman and Robin go faster. Batman grabs a bomb. I don't know what I'm doing, Jamie. I'm so sorry. And runs over for water and hucks it at the children's hospital. Robin fucks up Clock King's day and breaks his paper mache time device.
There's a bongo fill in the middle.
I'm so jealous of you that I'm just going to make you read the episode title.
Okay. Episode 76, Veronica in a car. Harley gets released, Harley has a bad day, and then she makes out with Batman, the end. Episode 77, Mr. Freeze's Fuzzy Milk. Do you want me to do this one? I'll do this.
No, it's fine.
No, I got it.
Okay. Oh, he's standing?
So picture yourself in a fancy restaurant. I'm not doing that.
Do it.
So picture yourself in a fancy restaurant. A dude comes in dressed partially like Quail Man from Doug.
I fucked it up.
No, I'm not doing this anymore. We're not doing
Okay.
this. So no. Just picture yourself at a fancy restaurant. A dude comes in dressed partially like Quail Man from Doug.
Partially like Quail Man from Doug.
He's got large canisters on his back.
Canisters on his back.
He's got kind of like a balaclava sort of hat thing going on. He sounds just like a normal motherfucker.
Like a normal motherfucker.
Stop this.
Stop this.
Where am I? So this guy comes in, and he's like, and he's pointing like fast food burger joint style ketchup and mustard squirters at you, and he says like, hold up, I'ma rob you," and you're just like, I hear you saying that, but also there's this steak and asparagus in front of me, so I'm just gonna eat it, okay? And so you do that. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Don't worry.
You go to take a bite, and then suddenly you're just blasted with a fire hose of mustard and ketchup. So then, get this. It's actually a comedian. And they're like, why would he ruin his career for this? Then, picture this. You're Alfonso, and you're buying suits for Brucey Maine, and then you see a dude in a trench coat with a big tail sticking out of the back, bigger than the average human tail. You know what he wants? He wants to steal.
Bigger than the average human tail?
But he doesn't want to steal things that you really care about. He wants to steal the cash register drawer, but not the cash. He wants to steal not the money from the phone booth, but the phone receiver itself. He wants your purse, but not the stuff in it. He just has a regular old gun. And so, picture this. You're a culturally appropriated Roseanne Barr. Like animated cliche Roseanne. And all you want to do in the world is shovel food into your face fast as you can. Chips? Just dump the bag in. And like, hey, here's a pizza. And it turns out, even though you took a big whiff of the pizza box, it turns out there's only purple gas in there. Fast forward.
Oh, wow. It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
Been a while.
Where am I?
You almost made me spit my whiskey out.
Fast forward about 10 minutes, and you're suddenly a cliche mom, and you got an egg beater and a broom or whatever. You're gonna fuck up Batman and Robin at this comedy club and, Roseanne. Okay, now rewind like 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh shit, we gotta spit back in the cups.
And the Joker has stolen the Mad Hatter's chip brain control things, and you're an omniscient third person watching cartoons in the 1990s. Basically, you're just watching the Joker. He's adapting the Mad Hatter's Jervis Tetch's mind-controlled chips to be nicotine patches that you can put on people's necks that make them be not comedy judges. You don't want to be a judge anymore. You want to be one of Joker's henchmen. And then the end. His pants are down. Episode 78, Dr. Alltooth, the Chemist.
Oh my god. You know what we should do? Is this going to be a Patreon?
No.
This is going to be a normal episode?
This is a normal episode.
Okay. We should mail this. We should
pick a winner and mail. Yeah.
Yeah. How do we make this into a contest for somebody to get this whole fucking script?
If you send us, the person that sent us the most pictures of their feet. I'm just No, let's see.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I'll think about it while you're reading this.
Okay, please do.
Okay.
Dr. Alltooth, is that where we're at?
Dr. Alltooth, the Chemist.
Holy shit. Okay.
It doesn't say that.
No, it doesn't. It says, somebody has stolen a priceless statue, and Batgirl's like, you know what? I'm going to stop dreaming about Batman and start doing this detective work. Batgirl is all like, I'm going to solve this. And then she gets to the scene of the crime where this cat statue was stolen. And then the Catwoman's there, and Batgirl's like, hey, I caught you, red-handed. Somebody pauses in that. Catwoman's like, no, I didn't do it. I wouldn't. Look, this has been melted with acid. It's somebody else's. Let's team up and figure this shit out. And Batgirl's like, yeah, I don't know. And then Robin's like, I'm here to fuck shit up. It must have been spicy on this day.
I guess.
And then Catwoman runs away. And then later on is like, hey, I unran away. Let's do this crime solving together. And then they go beat up some dudes in a bar for answers. And then they find out from another guy who was Alltooth, Dr. Alltooth the Chemist. It's somebody in town that would make an acid like that. And wouldn't you know it, it's Roland Daggett. So they're like, hey, let's go find him. And Batgirl and Catgirl bust in, and they're like, hey, we found the statue. And then the guy, Rupert Murdoch, they're like, hey, you came to steal the statue, and we're going to shoot you. We needed the money because Batman made me broke. So we're going to put this in a safe for a while, and then we're going to sell it. And then Bat and the cat were like, nah. And then there was a fight. And then Robin is like, also nah. And then some guys go away, and Catwoman's like, hey, I'm actually going to steal this. And Batwoman is like, but you made a promise. And then Catwoman's like, yep. And then she got willingly arrested for about 30 seconds and then unarrested herself. And the cops went, whoops, out of the car. And then Robin's like, I'm a catcher. And then Batgirl's like, nah. Episode 79, F is for frigate, unless you have an idea.
I was going to say, tell me what you think of this. So,
yeah. Okay, I'm back.
Listener,
back.
Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or whatever the hell you're listening to this on. We'll check the reviews.
What if they already have and you can't do it twice?
Good point. Then you're disqualified for being a good person earlier. No, just leave a Podtower comment on this episode. We'll do a random selection.
That's a good thing because like people aren't gonna have necessarily oh yeah, the episode of whatever. This is such a random thing. There's not gonna be much to comment on. So just leave a comment. Should we give a phrase, like a passphrase to be I did listen to it.
Bat feet, hyphenated.
Okay, type bat feet in the comment section, either with a full other comment or just
you must include it as part of another comment, because if people just see a bunch of bat feet, they'll be like, oh, this is a meme, a funny meme, and just do it themselves.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
Put a
comment, have bat feet in there somewhere, bat-feet.
And then we'll get a hold of you.
We'll do U.S. residents only. Fine print. Okay. All right. Sounds good. We'll sign the packet of paper here.
I'll if someone if one of our like Batgirl fangirls or whatever did it and they became the random selected person, then
But they
like,
didn't put bat feet.
well, no, I'm saying if they did put bat feet, like
I see.
I'd pay to
Pay to
them
get
the
it to the,
script.
the,
yeah.
the uck. Yeah, all right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
79 F is for frigate. There's a prison guard by the name of Lyle Bolton. This is like a
Child's book.
like a rom-com trailer, I guess.
Oh, okay.
He's head of security and a guard dude, and he's apparently very effective at his job. We get the impression, and we get an explanation very quickly, that Bolton is basically one for torture. They have a little bit of a hearing, and after some light manipulation on Bruce's part, they find out this hearing that he's actually a terrible person, and he's immediately terminated. And he sits seething in his living room watching the, quote, liberal media and getting fired up and demolishes his television because he's unhappy with the things he's being presented with. Ooh, this is almost a fast forward. We get a 6 months later. He absolutely flips his shit, puts on some spandex, wears some chains, and goes on a bender kidnapping everybody. Every politician that he doesn't agree with, who apparently is just as bad as a criminal because you're obeying the rules that have been written and such.
Whoops.
Yeah?
I just found the other boom mic.
Oh, stand handle?
You did
stand
leave
handle?
one here.
All right, whatever. No, that's the broke one, probably.
Doesn't look it. Yep, nope, that's good.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Now that we have an extra when we break one of these. Anyway, so he gets all super villained up and is all like, Batman, I'm fucking stealing this woman in her car, some lady. Let's join forces. And Batman's like, hey, you're a piece of shit. And he's like, I thought you were a piece of shit too, so now you're my enemy. And he gets away with Summer and, long story short, he's kidnapping everybody. He takes them to his ship and has them all electrified the way all the heads of everything in Summer Gleason and whatever. And chains them up in cells with electrified doors. And then Batman and Robin come to break them out. The ship Titanics itself into a rocky outcropping.
It's the second time I've said that.
And if not for
Whoa.
Robin being more capable than Batman, everybody would have died. Final battle, Batman somehow comes out on top. Lyle Bolton is taken to Arkham, and he's put in a solitary confinement where he's talking to himself about keeping an eye on everyone. He's got a red hat on with white text on it.
What?
Make America Great Again.
Oh
80,
my God.
Perpetual Carrot. This is a Ted Kendrickson yop for good old
Teddy.
Bri.
Mr. Freeze is hanging out in Arkham where we left him a long time ago from Heart of Ice. He's got his little miniature Nora spinning around, little ballerina music box thing. And a robot crawls out of the ocean and climbs up the wall and yeets him out of his cell. Batman and Robin are reviewing the footage and they're like, he doesn't have emotions. He can't act that well. He's probably got kidnapped. That's why he's a scientist. He flunked out of theater school. He would have had stage fright and just freeze. Oh my God. He would always get stage fright and just freeze up.
There you go.
Jesus. I don't remember how, sorry, Ted, if you're listening to this, I don't remember how Batman and Robin, Ted, why? You're not going to bat feed our comments.
Feet.
Feed.
Feet.
Which one were we doing? Feed.
Feet. Cha-cha-cha.
I don't remember how Batman and Robin track him. And Carl Rossum's like, I'm out of the robot business, but he is into the toy business. He's made a bunch of cameo toys like Batmite, this is crazy hallucinatory fifth dimensional imp from this 1950s Batman comics, and he flies around. He's just like, I just want to help. So Rossum, who we saw in Heart of Steel, old M9, that's what he says. M9's the name of the robot. Again, I don't remember how he tracks him, but anyway, Batman and Robin take the Bat boat and find their way to Oceana, which is this big Legion of Doom looking facility on the ocean where there's jellyfish buildings, and they take the Bat boat there, but then there's these shark torpedoes that get launched at them. I don't know why they're designed to look like sharks. I guess it's just like a theme park thing that Grant Walker did. He's like Walt Disney meets a James Bond villain, did weird hodgepodge with sharkpedos. Batman and Robin get out of the boat get out of the boat right before it blows up, and they swim the rest of the way. Oh, Ted. They break into Oceana right there. Every time you flip a page and you see there's more than you've already read. Although this next one.
Oh, Ted. We're getting close to the end here.
We're very close to the end here. This is number 80, which I guess we should drink for.
80. 80 matey. So pirates say, all right, I'm 80.
This whiskey gets you bad, Jamie.
This
I
is
haven't
a
coughed yet.
Old granddad.
114 proof.
know,
I mean, it's kind of high octane. Hi, Max. We're
Ah,
almost
you
done.
do it. Go read.
Yeah. Rick and Oceana, right? As they watch an early version of a Zoom call where Grant Walker is talking to everybody and saying, like, welcome to Oceana. We're about to destroy the outside world, but don't worry. You're going to be nice and warm in here while we freeze the rest of Gotham and kill billions of people. Or at least 10 million, right, Ted?
Right.
And so Batman and Robin very quickly get noticed by robots, little flying robots with helicopter heads. And they're kind of short and stubby, and they capture Batman and Robin and bring them to the Zoom call. And Grant Walker's like, we always get gate crashers. And so he sends them down below where Mr. Freeze is hanging out. Mr. Freeze says, hello. And I think I must have glossed over a bit there where Walker's talking to Freeze about how he wants to be immortal and he kidnapped Mr. Freeze so that he can get access to his suit and immortality that keeps Freeze alive. Which Freeze doesn't want to be alive, but Walker wants to be alive, so he's like, that's perfect for me. So Freeze is reunited with Nora, but Batman's like, hey, if Nora finds out that you killed all these people, she's not going to like you anymore. And Freeze is like, silence! But he gets it, so he frees Batman and Robin.
Western Freeze.
Walker goes through the operation.
Yeah.
He gets Mr. Freeze cosplay suit with different gloves, and then Batman and Robin come to stop him.
This is also a callback to when we've done this impression on the podcast.
Absolutely. They get
This is
in a
a
big
whole celebration
fight.
of the podcast.
They get in a big fight. Mr. Freeze throws Walker in a vat.
Whiskey.
And then he whiskeys. And then he crawls out of the vat, and then they blow up all of Oceanus, and they walk, and then while everything's blowing up, all the 1%ers are evacuating, and then Walker, evaporating. Then Walker, freeze ices him ices him to the vat, and then he sinks in the ocean. A little fish floats by, and he does his silent scream forever while Freeze is trapped on a little iceberg, but a floaty iceberg with Nora, and he's like, "We're together again, my love," or whatever, and they float off in the distance while Batman and Robin's like, "I bet we haven't seen the last of him because he's immortal." I might want to do that again. Episode 81 Mega CD. Let's do.
Oh yeah, baby, I get this one.
Jamie,
just hand it over. Fuck. Just hand it over.
Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna have to whiskey stain the bottom of our glasses and stamp the last page of this.
Yeah, the
signature
seal. Yeah. Everybody got out of Arkham. Everyone. This is the Jonah Hex impression. And then Batman had to fight them in order.
We haven't done a Batman impression this whole time.
Clayface came out back together.
There it is.
But don't you worry. He met the same fucking death. Batman's like, hey, you two, where's your hot boss at? And Poison Ivy's like, I'm here, and I got Clayface, but he's a root. It's Batman versus Poison Ivy, but not. And then Batman gets an axe. He's hacking up a root, and he gets root juice all over his face.
Ooh.
So Batman kills a big root, and then he's going to chase after... Is Riddler next? Oop. He gets arrested. Bullock happens and takes her pants off. Don't worry, Bats, I'll take care of it. Give me your fucking pants.
Oh my God.
She's just fully like, here's my butt. Batman goes and finds a Riddler who's also out of Arkham, and he's like, hey, stop with this shit. And then Riddler's like, I'm gonna kick... Wait a minute. Who's he kick in the face? Riddlerbot kicks Gordon in the face. Sorry, let me go back. Batman is on such a tirade to catch Joker that he drives full bat speed through a toy store. Supposedly unrelated to Riddler, I think Riddler might just happen to be there. He's like swerving to hit every display of toys to just destroy it. Batman punches Riddlerbot, says, ouch, my face. And then Riddlerbot says, we're both dummies.
Which Batman is this, by the way?
I don't know. It's kind of leaking between various Batmans.
Yeah, just keep morphing it. It's fine.
And then there's kind of a fight thing. Riddler's in VR and he's gone down a big fucking hole.
Is this Pete Holmes Batman?
And then he somehow destroys the machine by pulling it off. And I'm doing the lips. I gotta do the lips. And then Riddler's like, you did a fucking thing. And then he gets electrocuted to fucking death. he gets so graphically comic book electrocuted. And then Batman unties Gordon, and Gordon's like, hey, your little bird friend is probably like getting clucked. He's probably in a chicken suit somewhere. Go to one of Gotham's many amusement parks. So Batman races off to one of the many amusement parks, and Harley Quinn's like, hey, popcorn, guess what? It explodes. Chase me, Batso. And so they get in a car chase, and Harley's like, oh no, I've lost control of the car. I'm going to crash into this building. That's the last we see of her. There's no arresting. So Batman's all like, okay, Harley's about to be dead. I know this. I'm omniscient, so let's just say bye-bye.
Anime.
Oh, look, it's Joker. And Joker, I'm going to make some cars. And then Batman supposedly races off cars, and the RC cars go and blow Harley to death. The Joker kind of explodes, and Batman's stuffed animals or something. Joker. I don't know.
Film noir.
Where am I? Oh my, I'm like hyperventilating. I'm tingling. Batman, what was film noir? I don't know. Batman grabs a hammer
there
from
it is.
the "Hey, how strong are you" machine. Batman turns around just to watch Joker hit him in the spine with a 15-pound mallet, and Batman goes, hey, ouch, that hurt. You could have broken my spine, but I'm not having a 34-year-old Batman day today. And then Batman hits him, and Joker gets the, oh, I fell on the how strong are you machine, and oh, turns out Batman's a hunk. And then Batman and Robin are like, oh, hey, Joker just said a thorn reference. He made a rose joke, so we gotta go find Rupert Murdoch. They're going to Rupert Murdoch's gambling ship, which has a full military arsenal on board. And Batman is like, heat-seeking missiles? Heat-seek my ass. And they blow up on each other. Batman and Robin hang glide through the windows, and they're all like, hey, buddy, you suck. And he's like, well, guess what?
Jimmy, that's not film noir.
I'm not Buddy.
There it is.
I'm Clayface. And then there's Clayface. Oh, flip me a new one. What do I do?
Hardak.
Give me a... I got this.
That's Mr. Freeze. Oh my God, what have you done?
What have I done?
What have you done? Becky! Becky, why?
Oh my God.
You dropped the script, listener.
Hang on, I got it.
There's definitely gonna be dog hair in this script, just so you know.
Where was I? And then they fight. Clayface is like, I'ma shoot a gun at you and almost kill you. And Batman's like, I'm just gonna sit on this chair gun and then fire this cannon at you. Batman's like, I'm gonna kill you, Clayface. And he's like, I'm gonna wheel myself to this helicopter, and he gets in a helicopter. And then he crashes into the Gotham Gate Bridge. His helicopter explodes into pieces, and he goes face first into the water, where we get to watch him disintegrate in the water yet again. And then there's a Batmobile and some bad guitar, and then the credits stop. 82! Hospital Dad, he's only a painting.
Oh, that's so... Do you want me to do the next two?
No, whatever you want.
I'll do the next two. You did it for me, I'll do it for you.
Right.
One breath, ready?
Yep.
Should I yell it?
Immediately. Wait a second.
There are three rich guys who are wearing animal masks, and they're so rich that they've just gotten bored, and so they turn to a life of crime, and then one of the guys chloroforms and tries to kill his girlfriend, and then Batman catches them all!
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, I got big lungs.
Took way too big of a breath for that sentence, I guess.
So when I was doing Young Frankenstein, there was a song, I think He's Loose, where there was like 23 bars or something of like a note that you had to hold. And I was like, I got this.
I got lungs.
Hi, Rose. I called the dog again.
Yeah. What's next?
Okay, episode 83. We're so close. Ra's al Ghul's son's floating face leech. I remember this one like it was 3 or 4 weeks ago.
It was.
Ra's al Ghul has an army of Spider-Men. When Spider-Man is wearing the Venom suit, basically. It's Spider-Man Venom suit, but no web detail in the costume or whatever.
When the Batman gets down.
And they're breaking into a retirement home. They're gassing up the whole staff, and it's midnight in an old folks' home. Like, literally everyone there was asleep. And Batman's like, hey, I'm here to stop you. And Ra's al Ghul's like, mixtape, bro. And then Batman's like, oh, mixtape? And he puts it into his back cassette in the Batmobile, and he's like, wait, this isn't a mixtape, this is an animated podcast.
I'm sorry.
Woo! And it's a flashback episode to like old West Timey days. And there's a bounty hunter. There's a bounty hunter going after a dude with a bounty on his head. It's a good old West town where there's a couple of mysteries going on, and this dude, bounty hunter, is like kind of like Two-Face and Clayface. He's got a thing going on. And so the barmaid lady's like, Jonah Hex, let me tell you, there's some lights and there's a big flying log in the sky. You should check it out behind these cliffs. Ra's al Ghul, he's hired his son to make a hydrogen blimp tank at some cliffs. And he got these people who look like kind of 1940 science fiction dudes, plus one guy wearing the UPS delivery man outfits for some reason. I'm building a tank blimp to destroy the railroad because I got some vendetta against it. There's gonna be so much spit on this. And then Jonah Hale's there, and he like fucks shit up, and he makes the blimp go boom, boom. And somehow he saves my son, and now we're back in the future. My son is really old. And then the mixtape and the podcast is over, and Batman sees Ra's al Ghul, and he's like, hey, did you get a fucking thing? And he's like, yes, my son is 100 years old. What if you just let me take my boy? Batman's like, check out my cape. And then he leaves. They get away. It's fine. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Episode 84. You're not as deep as you think, Selena.
Catwoman!
Catwoman is having an internal monologue.
God damn.
And then she does some verbal damage to the egos of rich people. And then she does some physical damage to some property after talking to Scarface. And then she does some emotional damage because she was used.
Emotional
and then she does some physical. That's what I said during the podcast.
But like, I'm doing it again now.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And then you're me and I'm you. And then she does some physical damage from, oh, I can't reuse them. She does some monetary damage to the conservatory at the end.
Episode 85, One Bullet for Lil Skeezy, Dylan Pollock.
We are so close. How are we going to do this one? Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 transitions.
Do we?
Yeah.
No, you're looking
Brian,
at two different things.
Oh, whoops.
Jesus Christ, Brian.
Look, Jamie, it's been at least 32 minutes.
At least.
Okay, so we just watched it. It can't be that hard, Dylan. You got this. All right. So Bullock is walking down the street, and we see a car coming, and it's in the side view mirror of the car. Okay, Jamie?
I'm both enjoying this and also trying to think of my next voice.
Oh, okay. And in the side view mirror of the car, we see some angry eyes. And so the car comes and is trying to take him out. He avoids it, and then he just starts shooting. He started blasting. And so he decides next he needs Batman's help because he's getting a whole bunch of threats. So we find out his landlord doesn't like him. He needs Batman's help because he's getting a whole bunch of threats. So we find out his landlord doesn't like him because he's generally Slavic. He's of Slavic descent, so he decides he needs help. It's easier to read with accents, by the way. So he decides that he needs help from Batman and finding out who's doing this. So Batman, will you?
Shut up.
Oh.
Will you? Continue.
Oh. Okay.
I make the rules.
So he decides that he needs the help from Batman and finding out who's doing this. So Batman helps him track down some guys, including Vinny the Shark.
Look, listener, if you listen to this,
You deserve this.
You're a real fan.
Yeah.
You're a real yop.
Turns out is running Rock Crystal. Unfortunately, he's going away again. So no time for Baby Shark. Basically, they think, we got this all tied up. Vinny the Shark has been taken out. Turns out it is not all tied up. Somebody else is like, I'm gonna murder you, Bullock. I'm gonna murder you hard. Batman swoops in, drops kick the shit out of the guy, and it turns out it's the landlord because landlords are just the worst. That's the real moral of this, Jamie. Okay, this is the last one, Jamie.
My goodness.
Episode 8, it's like the end of it. So we're at the last 86. Phenomenal. Like, we don't have to do it after this one. We'll be done. Listener, you made it so far.
When we get through this one, it's over.
86. We're just at 86.
Yeah,
Phenomenal. The what?
The number of the
number
is
86. Phenomenal.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
What? It is a wow. We made it to 86.
Number
we made
86.
it all the way to 86.
We need to
I can't
86
believe
this
it.
episode of the podcast.
That's a really good point. We ended on
This
86.
fucking ending here.
So with that being said, 86.
The episode name is?
It's the 86th episode.
Yes,
After this, I'll say it. I'll say the number, and then I'm going to say
86. Yeah.
86.
The final, and then we're done after we've done this one.
Here, say it with me, okay?
86.
86. Say it with me, okay? 86. Phenomenal cosmic living space. Parentheses. Alex Robson.
Ampersand.
Ampersand. Let's start at the beginning.
86. And then we're done when we're done with this one, yeah?
And Brian.
I'm Brian. So, the episode starts off.
Wait, do we have to shoot the rest of this at the end?
I would assume so. We should do it now for the final one.
That is...
Clink. Clinking sound. Clink. Clink.
Oh, God.
So the episode starts.
I'm better. I'm fine with this.
Robin
Are you okay?
pulling out.
Because I'm a professional. You hear that? There wasn't a cough out of a single one of these. Breathe out the fire, Jamie.
Look, what I wanted to do earlier.
Are you crying?
No. What I wanted to do earlier before the final episode.
Yeah.
I wanted to do one, I completely forgot to do it, where I was going to do like, whoa, boom, make an explosion portal sound effect. Oh, the Traveler is here from Vi-Reality. This is Vi-Reality lore now.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, here we go.
End it with Vi-Reality, please.
So, the episode starts off, and Robin is just pulling out all his gymnastic tricks and having grand delusions in his head of the crowd he's performing for. Batman is getting dressed up for something, and Alfred is primping him, making him look proper, and then fast forward, oh no!
Fuck, we got a trick again! Why did we shoot them? Oh, that was so premature!
Why did we assume we make an ass out of you and me? This will be canon to Vi-Reality coming 2033. 10 years from now.
I have to pee again.
No, we got this.
But I have to pee. Fast forward, Jamie.
Fast forward. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, that's so delicious. So the episode starts.
I really have to pee, Jamie.
Okay, then fast forward a minute or so. Okay, hang on, Jesus. So while Brian is peeing, I just wanted to tell you that I love you. You mean everything to me, listener. And if you made it this far, send me pictures of your feet. Oh, Brian, hello? Yes? Are you back? Where's here? You are in Vi-Reality, the movie. Yeah, that's true. No, did you know that this is the last episode, and once we get past this, we're done, and the podcast episode's over? Yeah, I know. Oh, man. Well, we better get through this. Wouldn't you say?
Hey, I'm sorry I had bodily functions, Jamie.
Oh, boom! Portal sound. So the episode starts off, and Robin is just pulling out all his gymnastic tricks and having grand delusions in his head of the crowd he's performing for. Batman is getting dressed up for something, and oh my God, I'm fucking drunk. Batman is getting dressed up for something, and Alfred is primping him, making him look all proper. And then fast forward a minute or so, and Alfred gets...
Fuck.
No, we already did it. Alfred gets a call from an old friend. An intriguing message from an old friend. So, Brian, this is switching between you and Alex, and
Yeah.
I'll let you just have the final James sentence. How about
Great,
that? Okay,
sure.
cool. That old friend asks that he come to London. Good old foggy, wet, moist, damp London that's from 1855 by the looks of it, with candlelit lanterns and guys using phrases that no one uses here. And then these two men, who are speaking the Queen's English, come up to Alfred and try to accost him. How dare they? And Alfred runs away and calls Bruce, who, let's be honest, guys, Bruce was definitely having a wank before Alfred called him in bed, 100%. So the phone call is a little perplexing. Alfred is being very calm despite the fact that there's two large gentlemen breaking into his room about to apprehend him. That was a Freudian slip. And Bruce says, I definitely wrote down everything you said. I'm gonna jump in the Bat-Wagon with Robin, and we're gonna fly to foggy, rainy, damp, moist London. They look for clues in their trench coats because they're all cool detectives. And then the same guys who look like the two goons from 101 Dalmatians. Batman meets the Kingsmen, and they tell Batman where to find Red Claw. They go to the castle. Alfred is wasted and just blurting out gibberish, just like us here on the podcast.
Are you wasted?
Absolutely off his tits. And then they hit the button to blow up London, and Batwing to the rescue. But Red Claw's in the Batwing. How'd she get in there? Did he not lock it? And then right before he hits the button, she jumps him, takes off his mask, and then he hits the ejector seat, and tomorrow never dies her. And then he fires the rocket and saves the day. Amen. Brian gets the final sentence.
How do I do this?
I don't know, like James. And do the traveler voice.
And then, how do I do a Jamie voice?
I don't know.
I don't know. And then Alfred and his not cousin go to the airport. Jamie, cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Okay, you've officially made it actually through Batman the Animated Series. Now you may have your gift.
Jesus, how did you manage to ship a package to me, to my house, without me knowing?
Easily.
Oh, cool. It feels like fabric. Mm-hmm. It's a large shirt from Port & Company. You got me a Port & Company shirt?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I see what's going on here. Oh, I see what's going on here. Oh, it's a tank top.
Can you describe it for the audience? I'm glad that you like it. Yeah.
I was so caught off guard. So I saw, as I was unfolding it, I saw Robin's head. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like a Batman and Robin. It's gonna be some like really
Cool
stereotypical,
pose.
like they're like jumping off buildings together. So it's Robin, who looks like he's mid parkour.
Yeah. He's like hand leaping over a rooftop or something.
Yeah, but where you'd expect to see a rooftop is just the word smooth. So hold that thought.
Yeah, bro. While you're putting it on, I'll explain to you. So I just Googled Batman the Animated Series apparel, and like 90% of it is just the show logo, the like Batman with the cape and the eyes. And I'm like, oh, this is so dumb. This is so boring. This is so generic. It fits so well. That's really good. Yeah.
Holy
I know your nipple size. So I'm scrolling through all of that, and I'm just like, oh, this is so boring. I get to some Mr. Freeze stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm on the right track.
Yeah,
like maybe I'll get a Mr. Freeze shirt. And I come across this website that I wish I could have bought. So it was sort of a blessing in disguise situation, but I wish I could have bought this just for starters or in addition.
Yeah.
It's this website that has these shirts that are completely wraparound prints of every character's like entire torso. So like Batman, Robin, and Mr. Freeze, Joker, like every notable villain character, everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll get Mr. Freeze for Brian. I'll find one that's applicable for me. I'll figure it out. I go through this site. Every single shirt is only in small.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's for kids or because they're out of every other size because they were really popular or whatever, but I was really disappointed, and I was like, God damn it, like that was the perfect shirt. But then I scrolled like one more row, and it's just Robin and the word smooth. And I'm like, sold. It was like bordering on cursed, you know? And the fact that you were wearing a shirt yesterday that I bought you at the mall that says, fucking
vibes.
Fucking vibes. I was like, smooth.
It's like floral. It looks like a very like, you expect it to say like South Banks or something. It just says fucking vibes.
Yeah. Fucking smooth.
Jamie, I love this. And I also realized that like,
I think it's funny also that it's Robin, which is your like least favorite character.
you know what though? Robin is the character that I love to hate.
Yeah.
And
He's
think
the gift that keeps on giving.
He's the gift that keeps on giving. Like this little,
oh, yeah, you got a I didn't even mean to do that. I get you two Robin things.
But it's fair because like Kimmy called me out a little while ago, and she's like, because I'm the littlest brother. I have 2 older sisters. Mm-hmm. You may know this. Listeners probably don't know this. Kimmy knows this. Not many other people would.
Didn't you have little brother energy, you've said, and she said before?
Yeah, and Kimmy called me out and said that I have little brother energy. And I'm like, okay, that's true. Like when I get like a little like mischievous or mischievous, which is also a virality callback.
I thought you were about to say an acceptable pronunciation. I would say wrong.
Go see Virality. It's not out.
In theaters
Go see it.
years from now.
Yeah.
Whenever now.
Please, listener, oh my God, please ask James to finish editing Virality. Dear God, please bug him. I need help.
Into this. Yeah.
So you don't want a single Watchtower video
Nothing.
until Virality
no podcast, no.
Please, dear God. Yeah. Anyway, Robin, like all of his puns, all of his like fuckery. Mm-hmm. That's actually kind of me.
You are the Robin of this podcast.
And so this is perfect, honestly. Thank you so much, Jamie.
This is your I figure I'll get you a little like not super expensive graduation gift per show or something.
But I feel like for a shorter show it's probably not worth it. But I appreciate this and I will absolutely put this into my rotation.
Smooth. Yeah, I figured a tank top would suit you better. You're more often seen in tank tops than anything else.
I don't wear a lot of clothing.
Mm-hmm. You wear little clothing.
I wear little.
I should have got you the small shirt, the small Mr. Freeze shirt.
You should have got me a Speedo with Robin's face on it.
Ooh, and it says smooth.
Smooth.
Even though it's not.
Never mind.
Send us pictures of your feet, listener.
Okay,
that's that podcast.
With that in mind, listeners, we're going to say it again. If you made it this far, holy shit. I literally don't expect anybody to make it this far. So
it's not entertaining or enjoyable whatsoever.
I mean, I feel like
for anyone, not even for us. Yeah, it got okay.
There was a bit in the middle there where I was kind of burning out.
Yeah,
but then we started
pick back up.
We just like went into different voices, and like that made it fun.
Somehow I predicted that would happen.
Did you predict that?
I thought.
Did you synop that? Synyop. I'm sorry.
My prediction for the next episode.
Anyway, listeners, if you have made it this far, do in the comments on the Podtower YouTube channel. I'm sorry, like I listen to this on Spotify when I listen.
Yeah, even if you don't listen on Podtower.
Just jump over to the Podtower YouTube channel and type bat-feet. And that will put you in the random drawing for the script, I guess. Do you call that a script? What is that?
Yeah. Copy. A transcript.
Here we got to do this.
I was just about to say we should put some whiskey on it.
We got to stamp just however. Put your finger in that cup, and you got to get a ringer on the bottom of the glass. We're gonna stomp the last page. Boom.
We're gonna play selections from the musical group Stomp.
We're gonna stomp. Okay, there's James's glass, and then here, let's. I don't know. Here's a pen for you.
I'll sign mine the direction I'm facing.
Okay, I'll sign mine in the direction we're across my desk. Are we just writing? Or are we gonna like write? Oh, you wrote Jamie because that's what I call you.
You wrote Brother Broderick.
I'm just gonna do my regular signature, which is like it used to be Brian, and then because I always just like I was Brian my whole life, I'm just gonna write Bry.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll tell the listener that we're not gonna do the bottom 7 wells like we talked about.
Sorry,
we discussed doing that at the very, very end of all of the podcast. All of the bottom things. So this is the bonus episode.
That's supposed to say hey, but it looks like Huey.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Yeah, next podcast episode is just going to be Superman. So if you made it this far, you'll know it's just Superman. If you didn't make it this far, then you can just see Superman and be like, oh, I guess they're not doing the other thing. And you'll listen to the Superman episode. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I thought so, yeah. What are you signing? You're signing so much more than me. I just wrote the word Jamie upside down.
Yeah, just write something else if you want to.
Oh, okay. Let's see. All right. P. Ooh.
Wow, that is the sloppiest heart I've ever. Whatever.
What'd you write? Oh, we don't get to see.
No.
Only
This
the
is-
listener that wins gets to see what Brian wrote. Yeah.
All
All right. Well, we'll see you next week for the last set of Krypton parts 1 to 3. And
Wait, next we're doing that in one go?
What? Who? Yes.
That song ended.
Yes.
I feel like I need to Here we go. We're switching to
Why the fuck can I hear us?
What is this?
happening?
Wait. What?
What fucking supernatural bullshit is this? I hope this is recording. Brian plays the video and you can hear us talking on a previous podcast episode.
It's haunted.
What the actual fuck?
What if somebody just took?
Listen. I don't think it's doing it now. What? Rewind in the video. What the fuck was that? What was that? Are we like having a joint hallucination? What in the fucking world?
It's too much of this 114 proof whiskey.
I really hope that's on the recording as proof of that actually happened.
You know what though? If we listen back and it's not there, we need to call some doctors. Okay. How's this look? That doesn't look very whiskey. Okay,
yeah.
Whiskey up again. We got to make this more. We need the look. We did this terrible fucking whiskey thing. We got to make an impression, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope that one's better.
I'll do a wax seal on the envelope.
I was trying that, like a whiskey wax.
I think I didn't put it in the same spot, but
Whatever.
Well, listener, that's it. Thanks for being here. We love you so much. Thank you for getting through Batman the Animated Series with us, being so smooth like Brian. And that's his new nickname, Mr. Smooth. Mr. Smooth. And you have to get 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
What was going on? It must have been playing off of Logic because I tend not to close this whole thing with our waveform out until after the episode is ended.
To make sure, yeah.
A couple times you've been like, hey,
why didn't it play some other time? Anyway, bye, everybody. See you next week. Superman. Fuck yeah, starting Superman. We love you. Goodbye.
Bye, listener.
Bye.
Bye.
Fuck.